it's Luke and Leia, and they run around and you can play with them, unless your parents tell you you're too old to play with toys, and you ask them, well, why did you buy me these in 1977 if you don't want me playing with them still? Anyways, there's a solution. If you're all grown up and toys are not for you, here's some enamel pins from LeftCoastGraphics. They remind you of those vintage figures of back in the day, and you know what? When nobody's looking, you can pull them off your jacket and go, hey, Leia, let's go! And the ships come in these fantastic boxes that you can fold out, and here's the one for Boba Fett's infamous enamel spaceship. This is the pin. It looks fantastic. You could put it on your jacket, but like I said, when nobody's looking, you could fly those ships around. So remember, get your enamel pins with these awesome card backs and these fantastic pins that double as toys, but don't tell your parents. From LeftCoastGraphics. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Toy Duo, and this week we're going to be talking about the G.I. Joe HasLab. We're going to be talking about JoeFest that's going on. We're also going to cover in our Hot or Not section this week's reveals for action figures. But joining us today is Super Awesome Geek Show. Jonosaurus is down there.
Hey, how you doing?
We got Ways of the Sith, and he doesn't do a funny name. He's just Ways of the Sith.
Pretty funny,
and
though.
then we got Connor from Fuller's Figures up here at the top, and Rick from LeftCoastGraphics. He claims to be an international hero, but we don't think Canada's international.
We're blaming him for the fires this week. That's what we're doing.
Is that what we're doing?
Blame Canada.
Blaming Rick for my air quality being the worst in the world for the week.
It's always our fault. It's always our fault.
Great barbecue, though. So.
See, man, I've never seen anything like that. That was the craziest thing. Like, we've never had that before.
Wow.
Yeah, it looked pretty futuristic, like 2049, and
yeah, it was like Blade Runner. Like, you looked out and you were like, okay, something's about to take place.
Never lived through that. I mean, like, we have a house up in rural East San Diego County, and we would evacuate that thing maybe like every couple of years. And we wouldn't go back to our house for like a week because it was surrounded by fire, and just it's constant down here.
Yeah.
But
it's weird. All that stuff grows back.
Yeah,
It burns, and then 4 years later, it's a forest again, and it's ready to burn.
It's super nice for like a couple of years. You don't have to go out there with a weed whacker or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, like you're like
everything's just taken care of.
It's all black dirt.
Anyways, you're watching the Toy Duo, and we try to come to you every week
with more than 2 people.
Saturdays at noon.
Yeah.
You can see there's more than 2 people on the screen up there. So we have a whole bunch of people. We have a whole bunch of people part of the duo. That's what duo means, right? Like 15, 20?
Maybe in America.
Did he just say Toy Cinco?
Yeah.
No, it's Cinco Toyo.
Anyways, I don't know about you guys, but I have memberships on my channel, so you can join and become members. I have special emojis and stuff like that. You can join if you want to, subscribe if you like, throw the thumbs up.
If you want to, you can leave Vern's videos alone. And if you don't watch, well, then you're no friend of ours.
Clip that. Here's a new commercial for Ochre Studios.
You can join if you want to.
If you're watching in the chat, ask questions and comment, because like that's part of the conversation, right? Like, we only have our opinions and they'll probably be varied, but like your opinions matter just as much as we do. We used to do a thing called Action Figure of the Week, but that just died out because everybody picked a Star Wars figure and it was getting tired. But anyway,
we should bring back the toy photography like segment, since you guys don't
do that
anymore. We should do like a POA challenge every week for the show, like, and whoever's got the best one that we vote on gets a no prize.
I can contribute to that no prize.
What's interesting? Like, I wanted to point this out. Like, so I didn't realize this. Anybody here have like an Amazon affiliate that they set up? Where
I have.
Rick does. You have one.
Yeah.
I was looking, and apparently I was able to set up like some sort of Amazon affiliate influencer page where like I was able to put my banner and stuff like that. Do you guys have that?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I think you can do that. Yeah, put your banner and stuff up there. Yeah.
Now you'll have to let us know how to do that. That's pretty cool.
About 3 years I've been doing it now, and
well, it's letting me throw up like videos and stuff, right? Like in pictures for like posts. And I was noticing like on the Amazon app, there's this light bulb feature now. And if I click on the light bulb feature, it gives me like video reels like TikTok.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And then when you watch the video, there's actual links to the products that are actually in the videos.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
So I didn't notice that. No.
No,
yeah, no, I saw the layout. I just didn't know that was an option. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of neat. I had put one video up last night for that, the fire escape diorama thing. I did one video, but it's still under review, so I'm wondering because it has like the Valaverse guys like shooting up and down this.
No, it's...
Did you make little pew 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 sounds, or did it read it?
No, I was going to record you from the other day when you were doing your GI Joe ships and you made the machine gun sounds.
You want to push the $3,000 items. You make the most.
Yeah, the best selling thing on my thing are those acrylic stands for either tiering figures or little stands. And one of them I sold like 150 of in like a month, and then the next month I didn't sell any. I was like, why did I sell? I must have sold 150 of them to like 3 different
one person. Yeah, one person.
And then no one else bought any the next month. You know.
I'm gonna go through the chat really quick before we get started. Let's say hello to Duffman's Dioramas if he's still around. I know he was a little bit early, like half hour early. Steve-O from Collecting Star Wars is here.
My dad listening to Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Twisted Sister.
He's got Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it anymore.
You're not going to take it anymore, John.
Yeah,
he's tired of the streams, John. He's tired of the noise.
Gerard Kane has joined us. Look at that. Fuller's Figures is in the chat. Along with graphics. So who are you guys? You guys are imposters.
There's clones. I'm not the only clone.
Jonathan Redmond. Evening to everybody. Sir Eric Brown is saying hello. Let's see.
What's up, Eric? I love Eric's graphic on the screen, by the way. Like me and Rick petitioned for Eric to be in the graphic, and I love the way you did it with him on the horse.
Well, sir,
thumbs up to Vern for doing that, like within the hour. Like,
literally, right away. Like that was cool. I love that graphic though. I think that's such a cool thing with everybody on it. Like,
I'm glad nobody hit me up and said, "Take my picture off of that thing." Miriam Gillis saying hello.
Hey, Miriam.
Jonosaurus. Let's see. Amazing. Oh, you're throwing out all. See, the problem is you throw out all the custom emojis, but on StreamYards they don't show like the emojis. Just show the words.
I hope that's
Speaking of StreamYard, do you guys ever watch their live streams on YouTube when they talk about, how to grow your channel and what you're doing wrong? And
no,
I don't care about that.
So every maybe once every 2 weeks, I catch one and I'll watch it and what they'll do is they'll be like, say there's 100 people in the chat, they'll like do hashtag this, and people do that, and they'll pick a name, and then they'll go to your channel, and then they'll look at it over and say. And then they got a wheel. They spin a wheel, and it lands on, how's their heading, how's their thumbnail, or, all the different things about your YouTube channel that they can complain about. Yeah. So they picked me, and I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna bring my channel up and review it, so I can pull it up if you want.
Okay, yeah, Let's say hello to Silver Scratch Built Productions. He just joined us.
What's going on?
Lobot has jumped in the chat.
Hey, Lobot.
So if you don't watch vidIQ, I will plug those guys. I don't nothing for them. They're in my link tree if you ever go over there. But anyways, if you watch some of their videos, they tell you how to they give you ideas on like thumbnails and different stuff about your videos and titling and putting comments and stuff in there and to sort of make them more attractive. And one of the things that I learned about that is, and I never really thought about it before, but the thumbnail on a phone is really this big.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you got to do really clear lettering that stands out from whatever the image is. And it really can't be a compilation of a whole bunch of little stuff in the image, which I always do for this. I mean, if you just look at this, there's a whole bunch of little images and nobody's going to be able to read that on their phone.
I think you and Bob this week are competing for the most logos that you can fit on one thumbnail.
Yeah.
Bob posted one with Super John today, and he had like Kenner, Takara 2, Tomy, like every toy company was just there. I'm like, oh, you're missing my logo. It's just,
well, if you look, I try to put everybody's logos up at the top: Marvel
It's
Legends,
good
Star
and
Wars,
clean.
Black Series, GI Joe, Action Force, Indiana Jones, DC Multiverse. Then you got under the StreamYard slab, that's the Masters of the Universe, even though I don't collect them and I never talk about them. Then I put your guys' logos out onto the side, and if I miss, something in the logo or something like that, you guys got to like call me out on it, because, I'm older. So when I leave stuff out, so I'm really glad you pointed out.
I just see the Hulk, and I'm like, oh, Hulk video.
I knew
Okay,
that
so-
was gonna be the one Vern was like, oh yeah, the Amadeus show.
So they spun the wheel, and then they picked me. So I think this is only like 1 minute long, but it was pretty cool.
Okay.
Left Coast Graphics. Left Coast Graphics.
You guys can hear that?
Yeah.
Left
Graphics.
Coast, Left Coast.
All right.
Left Coast Graphics.
Left Coast Graphics. That looks like
Got a
the
bald
right
guy and
channel.
hippie
I'm
talking
seeing
about
it
my
right
channel.
here. So here
I
that
see the
channel
long
is.
hair
Let me
dude
pull
now.
the wheel, and let's let the wheel decide what we're looking at.
It's pretty cool.
Oh,
I think I
cool. I
got.
thought they already picked you.
I got 15 subs off this.
Nice.
Okay.
Man, chat's choice again. Chat's choice. Shout out in the chat. Anything you see on this wheel right now, or anything that you've seen along the way, you can give them free merch. You could advance them to the very end. You could ask about optimized playlists, pinned comment, clear thumbnails,
Are they
consistent
going to talk about your
uploads,
channel?
clear value proposition.
They are.
Any one
They're
of these things. Featured link in the
Or is this
description.
just a
Any
wheel
one of
thing?
these things, shout it out in the chat, and we'll go with what the chat decides we should be looking at.
So what they ended up picking was
I see clear
did I put
thumbnails.
pinned comment in my comment section.
Clear thumbnails
Which apparently
again.
is very
value
important to
prop
do.
pinned. Let me see.
Pinning a
And,
comment?
It's something I've never done until today. Right
Pinning
after
a
this
Pin
show,
comments. Let's do pin
I went
comments.
and
Looks
pinned
like
a bunch
pin
of
comment. I like
comments.
that one
Yep.
too.
Hey,
That's
Nick, how
picky
you doing?
All right, so we're going to go over to your videos tab here, Mr. Left Coast Graphics. Let me
Oh, my
find
goodness.
something.
Hold on. Let me see this channel art. Hold on. Slow down.
Hold on. Let me get up. Hang on. Let's see what's going on up here.
Okay, hold on. Those thumbnails look like Star Wars boxes. I'm about ready to flip out. Scroll down.
Oh, they are. Yeah, you're
That's
right. They look just
so
like the.
well done. That is
That's
so
nice.
well done. Okay.
Oh, no wonder
Talk
you
about-
liked
I
it.
talk about like
They put them over.
your
That's
It
why.
is.
I
Never
saw
heard
those
anybody
and
give so many
immediately-
compliments for.
Um,
They used to
Yeah,
sell this
so-
thing at Target
so, yeah,
called the
literally-
brown-nosed bear. You'd push the
The one
button.
guy's
That's
like-
a fantastic idea, boss. You'd push the button again. He goes, "Oh, that's superbulous."
But they
idea.
call me out for a couple things that I'm doing wrong.
Okay, I'm
immediately
waiting for
knew
that.
what was going on here.
Yeah.
Holy
You got
cow.
3 of the
that's-
same
Here's a
video.
perfect example, right? So
Wow.
here are some of the packaging from the action figures, and you see that white line around it. They've put that right into the thumbnail. Really smart.
So I like
I
the
What's
love
the
it.
thumbnail.
channel called? I am subscribing immediately. What's it called?
Okay, it's called Left Coast Graphics.
Wow.
And
Left Coast
I'm
Graphics.
also subscribed to this channel too.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You know what? You know what though? I don't
Nice.
have like.
Wow.
I mean, these guys right
That's
here.
so
I
well
don't
done,
know.
man. I don't
Is
know
it
what your
their
videos
job
are
just
like,
to,
but
like,
just the packaging.
butter you
just,
up?
I'm sold.
While they're
Yep.
looking
All
at
right,
your
see,
channel.
sometimes it works. You moved D to subscribe.
Yeah.
So why don't we
Yeah.
take what was it they decided to look at? Pin comment? Was that it?
Hold on. Ready? Clear value proposition right here. The only thing that throws me off, and I don't know if this is not only a Star Wars channel, I'd say
Yeah.
okay, but if this is only a Star Wars channel, I'm a little thrown off by the name and the avatar. Your profile.
Yeah, the name is throwing me off because it says
Yeah.
toy collector in Vancouver, Canada. And I was getting that Star Wars toys
Yeah.
vibe. It was the packaging. I felt that. The name throws me off a little bit. And then the channel icon right there
Yeah.
throws me off because I'm like, I don't know what that is. And Left
Yeah.
Coast Graphics, I would have thought this was
The
maybe
Vernon
graphic
Shirley
design or
dude.
something. So that's the only thing throwing me off. And maybe it's a toy. Maybe it was a little while back. Let me try this
That's a
one.
cursive L. These guys don't know what cursive is.
So I'm going to put
Yeah.
this on the screen
So
again
now
for
they're
people
giving
who
me
might
shit
have
'cause
come
I
in
don't
late. We're
have
talking
any
about
pinned
pinned
comments.
comments. That's what we want to see. We want to talk about a comment.
So they
that
want you to
write,
pin a comment about how to
pin
make
at the top
ramen.
there that links out to
Yes.
another
How to make
piece
ramen
of
noodles.
content, or it could be intentional.
No,
it could
just
link
how to
out
keep
to,
people on your
email
channel.
list or to
So like
an
instead of just
affiliate,
at the
something
end,
like that. But you
have it
pin it,
also in your pinned
and
comments.
it stays on
and-
top of all the other.
Oh, like a
comments.
link to a
Somebody
new
comes down
video
to
or
read the
something?
comments or leave their own
Basically,
comment.
or
You want to
here's-
see more? Here's
that comment
more.
first.
Oh, I get it.
All right.
Huh.
Oh, wait, so that's
Maybe that's her actual name. Maybe that's just her whole name.
that it?
Huh.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm really impressed because those guys really, really buttered you up.
Yeah.
But you know,
They
here's
did,
the
but then
thing,
they
though.
gave me shit.
But
Well,
so,
Here's the thing, though. I don't actually believe that anyone who posts videos on being a YouTube expert is a YouTube expert. Because what it is like, I don't have to have any credentials to start posting videos about what I think will get you more views. But if
Yeah.
I post a video,
These
but
guys
if I
got a
post-
college degree from
if
the
I post
University
a
of
video,
YouTube.
if I post a video that says how to get more YouTube subscribers and grow your channel,
You'll get a
people
lot of
will
views.
watch it who are trying to get a lot of views.
and you're going to grow your channel.
Yeah, you're gonna grow your
It
channel.
works.
So, but it
Spoken
doesn't
like a
mean
YouTube expert.
it doesn't mean that I have any more knowledge than you do. You know what
Well,
I mean?
now you're a YouTube expert, John. There you go. Now,
You are.
next
I
video.
learned today that
You know,
pinning a
when I
comment
have a
is
question
good
about
thing
like
to do,
YouTube,
and I never ever even thought about it before. It's just one extra little
yeah.
area
Yeah.
that someone could click to your store or to your next
Well,
video.
check this
or-
out, Rick. Check this out. I am going to use that, and I didn't even have to get picked.
Me too. I'm gonna start
No,
pinning
but
comments.
I'm
I've pinned
sharing.
a couple, but I'm gonna
sharing
pin a
that
lot now.
StreamYard wealth.
So now, like, are you supposed to pin like just like a random comment
Yeah,
from?
I'm going to. No,
I think
you
it'd be
you
your
have
best
to
write your
interest
own.
to
You
pick
have
a
to
comment
pin that
points to
comment
your
on how to
channel
make ramen noodles.
or
Just
how to
that.
make ramen noodles.
No, you
But
pin
on
any
your
comment
channel,
you
like
want.
make your own video, just boiling water.
So just start going through your videos and pinning like your top comment or whatever, like a
or your
good
top
comment.
video, or
Maybe,
like,
like-
you could write the pin. You could write the comment and say, check
That's
out
what I did.
my most watched video here. Like,
Okay.
That's exactly what
like,
I
you
went
know what I
back
mean?
to,
And then
like
you pin that or something.
my last 10 videos, and I'm like, check out Vern's commercial that he made here,
Yeah.
and maybe I get more views, right? Or
I think my
and
channel
then
might be
buy them
confusing.
here. So it's just kind of neat to, like Vern was saying, on your phone thumbnails, you can't
Yeah,
see that
they're
little
tiny.
Kenner logo underneath all the other sometimes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
unless you got one of those iPhones that are like this now, right?
Yeah, it's a kind of obvious, but makes sense when you say it. You know.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at look at Geek Strong. I'm happy for you. Don't listen to Vern. I'm proud that you got picked.
And I won a prize last night.
Oh, I am too. No, I mean,
good man, Dino.
listen, I am too. And so next week, what we're going to do is we're going to do a wheel. And
Let's
I'm
pick
gonna
one of their channels.
I'm gonna pick somebody's channel. And
We're gonna
and
tell them
whoever's
what
on
they can
next
pick.
week, we're going to be the experts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Provide tips.
And we'll
Like,
tell
Any
them.
of you guys that have ever paid StreamYard, it goes to the owner. Gage is his name.
Yeah.
He'll stream too, and then you can look and like he's like 11 years old. Like these people that run StreamYard are very, very, very young, man. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Where's
speaking of,
G-Force to call out all these words? Because he always calls me out for making up words.
Yeah.
Here's Rick, just making up stuff. 85 million people subscribe.
He's at JoeFest, yeah.
He's a Joe for
speaking of, you know, my dad paid for like the $500 version of StreamYard for the whole year.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I thought you said you did it accidentally.
The 250 subscriber or whatever user one. So I can get 250 people on my.
subscribers. Just
No,
You should try it.
No, I can put 250 people on a live stream now.
Oh, Jesus.
And
250?
we'll still overtalk them all.
Yeah,
you know how small we would be on a phone.
I know. Like, you want to
everybody's
try it? You
talk-
want to try to get
Talking
that
over
many?
everybody.
Wow, we'd be super tiny,
Dad
man.
wouldn't get a word in edgeways if there was 250 on it.
Oh, I could.
Mute all.
Yeah. That's
I
what Vern be doing.
Or I'd be mad that I didn't. None of you guys let me say one.
You.
He basically he asked what I needed for the channel and something to help it grow. And I was like, well, you could pay for my live stream for the year. You know, that would help. It's cheaper if you pay for a year. And he picked the professional bundle. He was like, well, let's get
nice,
this one.
John. You
So
get
nice.
you get full HD when
Thanks,
you
Dad.
stream, right?
Yeah,
With that.
yeah.
With that.
Yeah,
with
we'll have
that
to test that out because that's the only thing that detours me from paying them now. Like I paid them for about a year, like $12 a month or whatever it was, right? US, which is more for me.
Yeah.
And it did everything but the HD, and that's what bothered me because it misled me to believe that when I paid, I got the HD version, and then the next version was
It's next level
when
up,
people in
right?
the chat, and like,
Okay.
and I'm like, really? You have another? And I didn't learn that until after I started paying them. So because the only benefit you get from it is you can change your photo background. That's it.
Well, you get rid of this.
I'm not
little
paying
logo
$20
too, right?
to have a photo
Yeah,
in my
you get rid of
background.
the logo. Yeah.
That's it. That's all you
And
get.
you can fit more than 6 people.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I haven't
10
live
people.
stream is because I don't have a computer that can handle StreamYard, so I got to get a new computer. But I just do everything off my phone, and the StreamYard doesn't run off that, so it's
Yeah.
It's
kind
great
of
they came up with it, and it's a system for people like us and others that use it, right?
Yeah.
But there is competition, and hopefully YouTube itself will introduce its own stupid studio thing. I'm like,
it doesn't make
how
any
they
sense.
haven't? It's like literally the world's biggest company is Google.
Yeah.
They
have
haven't made
something.
a program that these kids made out of their garage, like
Yeah.
literally.
YouTube has a feature to like stream with other people, but they don't have the features that StreamYard has.
Yeah,
Some of them,
I get it.
like,
It's
popping up.
it's weird that they
images.
haven't yet.
So,
Well, and you
so
could.
hopefully one day. I mean, they're really slow. They're acting like they're Apple, right? Like, 17 years after the Oculus or whatever thing is now $100, we're going to introduce our $3,500 version.
Yeah, but that's the freaking future, man. Like, I know we're not all lined up to buy it, but I mean, that is what everyone will have in 20 years' time. Like,
yeah, it does look really cool. But
you don't have to go to the mall. You can sit in your hot tub and walk around the mall, like literally.
I don't know if I would put that
But
on.
I'm not wearing a thing like this on my head.
I'm not sitting in water with it either.
I'd rather go to the actual mall or go to the actual place.
I'll be on board. I'll be on board when it looks like this, and I can go, whoop, and then I can see you guys right here.
Yeah.
But as long as I have to wear this, I'm not on board.
See through it, John.
You can totally see through it.
I'm not on board with like AI stuff. Like that's not.
Okay, John Connor.
Yeah, I don't like robots. I don't like the Google or the Amazon thing in your house.
Hold on,
like,
wait a minute.
Yeah,
minute.
but if you
I
have
don't
to
like
pay-
robots.
Yeah,
You got that little Lola
Talking
thing
to
in
shows.
your room, don't you?
What happened?
You have that little robotic Lola thing.
Oh yeah. But
Oh,
I'm
see,
talking
I
about.
don't like robots.
I'm talking about like robot, like real AI robots. Like I'm not a big.
I don't have an Alexa.
I want
or
them. I want more
Amazon
of them.
or any of those things. But starting 24 hours ago, or maybe 48 hours ago, all I'm seeing is advertisements now on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
Is like dye beard for men, and I'm like, what? Why? Like, I don't watch any videos or content on beard dyeing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's all like this new dye, and then I start seeing like dental replacement implants. Here's how to get them cheap. I'm like, I've never searched that. I do need some teeth work, but I mean,
yeah.
How the fuck? Sorry, how is that happening, man? Like,
that's so weird, Rick.
Well,
there's like and all my cameras when I'm not using them, like I cover it up with a sticker.
Yeah.
So like, if
my
I'm
dad.
laying on my couch.
No, it's
Hold on,
it's
wait a minute, wait a minute,
no
Rick.
one's filming me doing it.
It's because have you ever noticed that when you go to turn the volume down on your phones, you can't actually turn it all the way down?
Yeah, I
It's
know
like-
it goes back up one. Yeah,
It stops. Yeah, because they always have it on slightly. It's slightly on, and to prove stuff, we were in the car, and my dad was asking when we were driving up one of the days to see Mark. He's like, well, they can't be listening to us. And I said, yes, they can. And I said, they're listening to us all the time. I said, you want to prove it? Yeah. We're going to do an experiment. And when we get there, wait about 2 or 3 hours, then turn your phone on, and all you will see is advertisements about this. And he's like, what are you going to do? And I went, bananas. How great do you like bananas? And Dad's like, I don't know. I haven't had a banana. Well, he goes, I do eat green bananas sometimes. And I'm like, let's just keep talking about bananas, because eventually they'll give us ads about bananas, because bananas are so great. And we said the word bananas for like 5 minutes just in conversation. Sure enough, like 2 hours later, he opened his phone. There was 12 ads about bananas. He opened up YouTube. There were videos suggested about bananas. And he's like, you open up Google, and Google shows you stuff about bananas. He's like, how the hell do they know that we were talking about bananas?
It's totally true, man. I'm not.
They listen to it about other.
John, were
sizing,
you still in
it
Florida
happens.
at that time?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's why.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
weird, man.
strange.
I don't
It's
talk about my crimes. It's good.
Yeah, what Jono said. I read that article too about the drone operator. Basically, they did like a AI drone simulation, and so the drone was given a directive where ultimately the pilot, like the operator, was the one giving it the ultimate like kill order. Basically, like, all right, yeah, go ahead and commit and like drop your fake bomb or whatever. And so as the pilot was going around and like telling it yes or no, the AI system actually learned that the operator was preventing the AI system from completing its mission. So it started to circle back and attack the AI, like the operator, the human operator, to take him off the board so it could complete its mission without the human interference that it deemed like.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, wow.
There's stuff.
So your door's open right now. If you were to close it, is there tin foil on the inside of that door?
Yeah, because that actually
The whole line.
that actually has to be fake because that can't happen. We don't have general AI right now. We only have single-use AI. Like our AI is able to flip a burger, or our AI is able to drive a car, or something like that. The AI that's flipping a burger will never ever learn how to open a door. It cannot deviate from that. It will never learn how to start talking and say hello to everybody. Do you know what I mean?
That's what you think.
What do you mean that's what I think? I know because I've grown up working with computers. I worked as an engineer. Do you know what I mean? I know how these things work. I have an IT degree. I've got 2 master's degrees in this crap. You know what I mean?
Elon is pretty scared of AI.
I'll tell you why, John. I agree with you. Because in the 70s and late 60s, they did this whole thing where they try to make everybody believe that we went to the moon. And and we all know that didn't happen. So I totally agree with you that this AI thing is just an extension of this thing that they made up.
Yeah, look. You basically look up single function versus general AI, and we are millions of years from general AI, probably.
Yeah, this is
maybe not millions, but hundreds. And the AI that opens the door, or drives a car, or flies a drone is never going to learn how to do
Van Allen
than that.
Have you seen those?
That there's a radiation field around the Earth that people can't travel through. So there's
yeah.
Well, that's
robot dogs from Black Mirror. That's
the dome over top of the flat Earth.
Geekstrong says that's what AI would say. Well, I'm an AI now. I'm not only just a clone, but I'm an AI.
You know what? We actually don't even know that Jonosaurus is actually on this show.
Yeah,
that could be like a deep fake going on right now.
Yeah, now you never know. But see, I want an AI that's a little tiny drone that has this phone on it, and it flies, it hovers right next to me, and when I get up and I walk out the door, it follows me around. So I never have to forget my phone. I don't have to leave it anywhere. It'll just follow me around all day wherever I go.
Built into your glasses or something?
Well, sure, I could have that too, but I think it'd be cooler if it was flying around with me and I could just ask it questions. It'd be like, "Yes, John, we're going to the store. Yes, John, I ordered bananas. Yes,
Blade
John."
Runner 2049, he had a little drone that came out of his sunroof and just did whatever he wanted. That was badass. I like that. Floating
around with you, yeah. I don't want to have to carry this thing. I don't want to have to touch it anymore. Bring me the next innovation. Have you realized that these haven't innovated in probably 20 years now?
John wants an implant.
They've changed a lot because now you can take
years. They just updated the camera.
Yeah, they just update the camera. That's all they do.
On your damn iPhone, John.
You know what? I have the new iPhone, and I got to tell you, it's actually heavier than the older one.
Yeah, my first iPhone was an iPhone 5, and I swear all it is it got bigger, and they have better cameras. That's really all it is.
That's pretty.
I'm like, where's my fold up one? Where's the one that bends? Where's the one that's clear glass?
They're on sale at the phone store because no one wants them.
Yeah.
What about the ones that you just go? You go like I see them on Law and Order and other TV shows where they go whoop. And the thing appears between their 2 fingers. They're like, "Oh, look at that!" Why don't I have that now? Why don't I don't know what it is. What if
John wants to be Tony Stark. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh.
I
You want a new iPhone just for the camera.
The right answer.
So we already went off the rails, like not even a half an hour into the episode.
So let's just talk about this for a second, so we know that GI Joe did their HasLab earlier in the week.
I backed it.
Like basically on day one. It's the Dragonfly. I think we called it on this show like a few weeks ago, right? Absolutely. We ruled everything else out. I remember.
Well, and I denied it. I said there's no freaking way they would do the Dragonfly. It's too big. It would be too expensive.
I thought it was going to be a lot more expensive too. I definitely thought it was going to be closer.
I thought it would be. I thought if they did this, it would be $600.
That's what I imagine because it's Hasbro. But I'm kind of glad that they hit where they hit.
Oh yeah.
And I think that one of the big reasons is because once you get past that like cockpit, I think that it's just plastic, right, all the way back.
Hollow
There's
plastic.
Yeah.
The tail though is the size of the his tank. The tail alone.
Yeah,
that's what they were saying.
It should be about 3 times as long if it sticks to the original.
Yeah, it's not.
This is going to be like 30 inches, right? 34 inches long or something.
Yeah, that's good.
So how does everybody? So Connor's already throwing a bunch of hots out there.
Oh, I'm all hot. I'm hot about it. Hot and bothered.
Well, I really like it. I didn't back it yet though. I'm kind of on the fence, only just because I know that there's a Star Wars one around the corner. And I think that's going to be an expensive HasLab, so I'm kind of torn between which one I'm going to end up going with.
So here's the problem that you're going to be facing, right? Like Waze is like, okay, you're going to wait. This is going to end before that announcement.
Oh yeah, no, I know, absolutely, and that's why like I've been on the fence with what I'm going to do. You know what I mean?
Or what announcement? I missed something. What announcement?
So Star Wars is going to do their announcement at Comic-Con, and it's going to be after this one ends. So people who are like would normally see both of them and then decide which one they want to back or whatever.
Yeah. Well, no. See, by the time this one you actually pay for it and then they announce the Star Wars, I could probably afford to buy both because they're not at the same time. I hate it when they're at the same time because then I have to decide.
Apart. That's it.
And the Star Wars one's gonna. It's also not starting at Comic-Con. I think it's starting like shortly after that, like the following month, because it's leading up to Ahsoka. So like supposedly the rumor is it ends in August is like the like that's when they'll collect the money for the Star Wars one.
Right.
So I'm guessing like July to August is the run.
Well, they were speculating on like how long it would.
Are they going to do something stupid like a new version of Ahsoka's lightsabers?
If they do the Ghost,
that would bother
I will stop collecting all modern Star Wars toys.
I think it's going to be the Ghost and the Phantom, and they said it was the rumor is supposed to be that it's the most expensive HasLab that they've done.
Hey, let me say hi to Duck Collector because I've never seen him in our chat before. So welcome to the show. Hope you.
Hey, what's up, Duck Collector?
I think it would be a huge mistake if they picked the Ghost. They would just annihilate 70% of the fandom that wouldn't want it.
We were talking about it and debating it. Like, I'd be somebody who'd be behind it, but not for that much money. Like it would have to be, it would have to be comparable to this. And like, if it's more than that, then I'm totally out. And like, there's no way.
It'll be.
I love Rebels. I love Ahsoka. Like that would be an awesome thing. Yeah. Even though I don't collect TVC, it would be a cool thing just to like have on display. But not for that much money.
I just think that like the Ghost is a little bit niche for the.
It is. It
is.
Yeah.
Be interested in like the HasLabs, right?
Especially for people like you that refuse to watch the show.
Well, it's not that I
refuse.
It's just that I just can't.
I just don't want it
through a cartoon really like that. When I'm the whole time just wishing it was like a live action.
Well, that's the debate that that's the unfortunate thing that Ahsoka is going to be facing is like. Is it going to get as big of an audience because of that? Because a lot of people are going to feel like you did, where like I didn't watch Rebels, I'm not gonna watch this.
No, I'm in for it because it's live action.
Yeah,
right?
We already know the character.
Hate Book of Boba Fett
and the thing is,
season 3.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, Rick. Yeah, no, I agree. So like, I think it's going to be an uphill battle for them, but you could tell that they're putting a lot of money into the promotion for that, like going into the show. Like they're already starting now. In the summertime before like that show comes out.
I don't believe they're hurting. I don't believe they're hurting at all. I mean, they're
12,000 backers,
like
eh?
like
So you're
100 million people have probably watched.
So 87
Mandalorian season
billion
3.
is the number that Left
Oh.
Coast goes with.
And
So
it doesn't matter, regardless of whether they liked Mandalorian season 3 or not, or regardless of whether they liked Book of Boba Fett or not. 100 million people watched it, so they got their damn money regardless of whether people like it or not, and they're going to continue to keep making these things because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter after the fact how much people like it or not, because what matters is that you watched it the first time.
That's
But under Iger's new leadership, he wants stuff that people are going to rewatch and go back and have that value. So it's
See how you guys just turn it into Star Wars?
I've rewatched them
This is
all.
how we get on to Bob Iger from the Dragonfly.
What? Yeah, I don't know because they're talking about the next HasLab.
I backed this Dragonfly.
So I got a
backed the
question
Dragonfly
now.
because I this was my favorite vehicle as a kid. One of my favorite toys. Wild Bill was one of my favorite characters as a kid.
Yeah, I like the Wild Bill too.
And I'm glad that he looks like the original vintage. He looks like the cartoon.
Yep.
The vehicle looks awesome. It's updated. It didn't quite look like this in the cartoon. It didn't quite look like this in the toy, but it's an updated, modern version that looks so close enough that it's amazing to me. I saw it and immediately backed it. You know.
Okay.
And the blast effect, the attachments, the cockpit, everything. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely a piece.
Is it worth it with no additional tiers?
How much is it?
Oh, sure. I would have got it with no other tiers. Yes.
Okay.
Just for the figure and the helicopter, I would have bought it anyways.
Yeah, I think so. Like on its own. Yeah.
I think it's going to hit the first tier for Ripcord, but I think it's going to struggle after that.
Didn't it already hit the Ripcord tier? I thought we already hit that.
Jono says we're almost we're about 700 backers away. That's what.
Yeah, because it's 13,000.
What is the cost?
Oh, okay.
Is it 350?
275.
No, 275. 275.
Yeah, 275. That's what he said.
Oh, 275.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like for the cost alone, like even if you only get Ripcord and Wild Bill, like it is still a good value. They're coming individually boxed in their own like packaging and everything too. But it's going to be interesting to see what those other two tiers are going to be. Like
we
know that
resellers already listing this on eBay for $500.
Yes, I've seen it
in 2 years.
I've seen it,
Yeah.
and I think that's a violation of eBay policy.
It is. You have to have it in hand.
So second question: is it wrong that this version of Wild Bill is only going to be available this way?
Yeah, because I would like just Wild. Like if I don't end up backing this, Wild Bill's still one that I really wanted, regardless.
I mean, they'll have different versions probably with the orange.
Yeah,
Jack.
like Tiger Force, Wild Bill. I don't know.
Well, the one, I mean, this version of Wild Bill was only in like 2 episodes. I think it was that first.
Right.
Yeah, and then he
went to the blue suit. He went to the blue suit with the yellow vest or whatever.
Yeah.
So what I think they'll do the blue one
with
the mainline one. Just like if you look, Ripcord is the night hawk or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
and because I know they were like, well, we were planning on doing Ripcord in the green camouflage like the classic Ripcord, and it's like, but let's do a black repaint that'll be like the add-on for this cop.
That was smart of them, right?
Yeah.
To like do that alternate version. That way they can still get a regular Ripcord into the.
Because the green camo will come out at Target and at stores. You know what I mean?
And
I
like
would you JoeFest
I
like
hope
it
that
if they made that figure in its own
Okay.
custom box?
What did you say, Rick?
What if that figure, instead of coming in like a piece of tissue paper or a Ziploc bag, because that's how it'll come, came
No, it's
on
not. It's
retro
coming in.
card or in
It's
a nice
coming in a box.
Oh,
It's yeah. Emily said they're going to be individually packaged and numbered in their own boxes. Like so, basically, they'll fall in line with all the other classified stuff.
So another question based on this, because I've watched a lot of these HasLabs over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they had a fully 3D printed model there?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they wait 1 day and paint it, or 3 days, right? Just paint it like they did with other stuff. That I don't get why they don't do it. And if you said it does come on a package, why wasn't that package designed 7 months ago so they could show it on the stream?
Yeah, Well, they had said
The
during
artwork is the shortest, fastest, easiest thing they can do. They've already spent a year in developing this toy, obviously, because they didn't just.
Well, even the
yesterday.
prototype that they showed off in the stream, they said that was the first actual prototype that they received, and they received it like a day prior to doing the stream. So,
well, they didn't receive it; they printed it in that building.
You know what I mean? Regardless, that's the first fully functioning prototype that they got in hand of what the product actually was. That's why they did the stream when they did it the way they did it.
So that's at least what I think. What made the Rancor fail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Well, but plus there was a lot of other factors in that failing too. The offerings were horrible for that.
Well, of course, but I mean,
I want to do those. I want to use those
GI Joe
decals.
team seems
this is
good
really a nice
at
touch.
Marketing
Like,
and doing
you're gonna get all these different decals and be able to really customize it, like however you personally.
I'm not. If I get, I'm not putting any of the decals on because I'll mess them up.
Oh, I want to do this. This looks so cool. I think I like.
Yeah, like the looks like
the
a cigar hanging out of his mouth, but it's the gun turret.
So
Connor already said no U.S. flags on his helicopter.
No Canada flag.
Connor's gonna have action
just
for
because it doesn't
right along the side.
flag stickers, like the original.
Here's Lobot putting some common sense into everybody. We're trying to apply logic to Hasbro.
No,
yeah,
but
I mean,
if I put up a drawing of this pin, like just a black and white pencil drawing, here, buy this.
Yeah.
Why would you buy it? It's just a like
if they just showed this, just showed this on their initial thing, you think that wouldn't have worked, right? They had to have some unpainted prototype or something like that.
Yep.
Now the thing is with the stand, I think the stand is a really good idea.
Oh, definitely.
Because it's clear plastic, which means like it'll be sitting on that thing and almost be invisible when you're taking pictures.
And the fact that you can like position they made it to where the stand can position the chopper in 3 different ways to make it look like it's like flying, coming down or up. And then like it's got like a little like landing pad on the stand. So like it looks cool, like really cool for the base offering. That's what I'm saying. Like everything you're getting for $275, it's really not too bad. It's like actually almost like on par with what you know what I mean? Like in comparison to other stuff.
The smoke effects are pretty badass.
So the thing is, the other thing I think about with this is like, are Marvel Legends guys and the GI Joe guys, do they work for the same company?
Yeah, the same building, dude.
Because I do not understand
400 square foot office.
How one can do what the other one can't. No, I agree.
I mean, when they put that car out there with the flaming wheels or whatever, and then you look at this and you look, it's a chopper, a figure, stand, all those accessories.
Yeah,
it was like you couldn't even get the extra head for the Ghost Rider dude without getting to the.
That's a good example, Vern.
Yeah, no, that is
showed us that Ghost Rider car.
Yeah,
it was painted. It was black. It had fluorescent flames. It had the figure.
Oh, it was nearly complete. You're right.
And then they showed it at the convention 2 weeks later, right? To try and try and back, and it failed. Nothing else they've showed painted. Like Cookie Monster. They actually built it. They had like a real blue. It wasn't like a 3D printed.
That failed too, though, didn't it?
It did fail. So I think everything that they painted and showed us has failed, which is the Reva lightsaber. They built it. They ignited it. They turned it on. It was painted. It failed.
That could be the reason why they just said, F it. We're not going to waste our time, and we're just going to put it out like this. And here's the production. Here's the scale, and
Well,
I have a feeling
I don't see it as wasting time because those are salary and paid employees who are already in the office Monday to Friday painting prototypes for photography and live streams and stuff like that. So it's no extra money really for a big company like that to say paint that helicopter.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
What do you guys think the other two like unlocks are going to be?
Wish list. Who do you want for this?
It's going to be
Do you think like with the Sky? I know like with the Sky Striker they did like the ground crew. Do you think like maybe one of them?
No, one's going to be airborne.
Definitely.
Okay.
And I really think the other one's going to be Doc.
Okay, because you and Lobot are right on the same page.
Because Doc, I see Lobot is with me. Because see, it could be in that order too. It could be Doc then Airborne. Because here's the thing: when
yeah.
you bought the original Doc, all right, the guy in the brown suit, the black guy in the brown suit, the original Doc,
stretcher, right?
he came with a stretcher, and the stretcher hooked on to the original Dragonfly.
Oh, so that would be a nice little.
You could put the stretcher on the rails of the Dragonfly and lift your GI Joe that was injured off the ground, and we know
this has that capability, so that would be a perfect.
Yeah. On the original Dragonfly,
for sure.
On the original Dragonfly, where was the winch?
Right underneath it.
Right in the middle.
So this one's off to the side, right? So
it might be. I don't know. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it would still. I think it could still work.
But
with
the
stretcher attachment, that would be great.
Doc came with that stretcher. That was one of his accessories, and it went on it could go onto the Dragonfly. So I think it would make sense for them to copy that again.
For sure.
You have Doc in the box coming with that stretcher, and they would go and look. The stretcher fits on the struts of the Dragonfly.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool.
That would be really cool.
And if they could even update the stretcher to make it look more like one of those baskets that.
Oh yeah, it'll look more modern.
Yeah. And that would attach to that winch. It would attach good to the winch.
I think that would push me over the edge if they did that. If they did that with Doc, I would be like, all right, take my money. Go ahead. Yeah.
So if they unlock Airborne, are they going to show us how he gets out of the cockpit to jump out?
3 ways. You can open that cockpit 3 ways. I remember.
That would be cool too if he came with a parachute.
At altitude, and was that helicopter?
Well, how does Ripcord jump off it? Does he just?
He's got the attachment harness that goes into
the time it right.
System. Yeah.
Shouldn't he have a parachute then?
Time it through the blades.
He's got the harness that hooks into the pulley system.
Parachute would be nice.
Ripcord does.
If they did Airborne with the parachute, that would be really cool.
Well, who would
that would be awesome.
6-inch figures off the roof.
Who normally rode around with Wild Bill?
Well, a lot of times in the cartoon, they had Lady J or Scarlet in the cockpit with them, or
that's what
someone like that.
Do you think that they have a flight version of one of those two potentially as one of these other tiers?
If we got a new Scarlet, that would be awesome.
There could be, because they did Scarlet with the blue Airborne outfit. You know what I mean? The air.
I think she needs an upgrade. She's the one that was done so early on that now she's outdated in comparison to the other ladies in the line. You know what I mean? She's one that definitely would do for an upgrade.
He
only jumps out once because he ain't around to do it again.
Dino says AI John has access to database.
Yeah, no, that's John. Really, John. If that's the case, I'd be in. As soon as if they unveiled that with the stretcher attachment, that would be sweet.
Yeah, I think
came with med kit. Maybe if you packaged in med stickers along with him too. So if you wanted to make the chopper more like a medical vehicle, you could do that too. That would be cool.
From MASH. But here's what I think. Okay, like you guys were asking stuff about the other teams. See, I think what it is number one, you got to remember that Hasbro owns GI Joe and Transformers.
Yeah, so they
those things can always have more accessories, because let's just say it costs $5
licensing
fee figure, there's no licensing fee on top of that. Exactly. Yeah. Where in Star Wars has the highest licensing fee, so you're going to get the least amount of accessories, and then Marvel is somewhere in the middle. They don't have as high a licensing fee as Star Wars, but there is a license fee.
Can I say something? So with Marvel, I give them a little bit of break on accessories when it's a Build-A-Figure wave, because they are giving you a whole piece of an extra action figure, right? So I almost say, okay, they're giving you something that actually makes it a complete another figure. And
this was great for the value too.
Have a bunch of hands and stuff like that. I kind of give them a break on that.
And all the stuff that it came with, for the price, this was to me, this was a great Marvel Legend value compared to what they've been doing lately.
It was 3 figures in one is basically what it was.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And you got all those accessories that go with shows and go with different stuff. It's a pretty good buy. You know what I mean?
Here's my regular way to give you. They shouldn't even release it as a single figure. It should only be available as a 3-pack.
Well, yeah,
they would sell the exact same amount.
So, John, is the license fee the reason Lego Star Wars comes with much less stuff than other Lego packs?
Exactly.
Partially,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes. And they purposefully make, like I'll say before, like you'll look at the same size packaging and you'll see a Star Wars thing for $25 and it'll only have like 190 pieces. But if you look at the Lego City, the same size box will be $25. So they purposefully put them in the same size box so it looks like you're getting the same size. But if you look at the number of pieces, that city set will have 250 pieces, where the Star Wars will only have 190.
So
you know what I mean?
it really trickles into the retail price of the product then.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
But my point wasn't necessarily just that there's a licensing fee. The other side of it is that I think that there's something going on in Star Wars and Marvel that is behind the scenes. Like, I almost think the Ghost Rider thing was sort of a test of the waters, because if you were smart about it, you would only do stuff for Marvel as a HasLab that's related to Avengers or one of their biggest properties. You know, like in Avengers, including like Iron Man, Hulk, like stuff like that. Why would you ever pick Ghost Rider? Nobody collects the Ghost Rider comic book. Okay.
Well, except I would agree with you. But out of the Ghost Riders, why would you specifically pick Robbie Reyes out of all of the Ghost Riders? You know what I mean? As opposed to
without giving the other Ghost Riders tiers, making the other Ghost Riders tiers.
Yeah. And then I'm not saying it's just that where they dropped the ball, but they don't have a clue. Like the Rancor, I think the Rancor would have had like,
but
it would have had a lot more reception.
Where he ate the stormtrooper.
It would have had a lot more reception if they said, "Here's the Rancor," and the very first drop is going to be the Rancor Keeper.
Yeah.
Like, why would you never? Why would you not think of that?
It would have been their most selling and fastest selling item
on their part.
They did the figures right.
Or had they even waited just a couple of weeks
with one word
and Danny Trejo. You could have just put a saddle, Danny Trejo, boom, funded. First tier.
One word. Patrick.
Well, no,
he's not the marketing guy though.
He's in charge.
I actually do think there's
people tell him what to do though.
Because Hasbro knows what they're doing. Whenever they come out with a Transformer one, they are spot on with exactly what the fans want. There's like, they put it up there and the fans are like, holy shit, yes, we want it. Day one, that's freaking backed. And with G.I. Joe, they've done the same thing. The first thing they did was the Hiss Tank, which is like the number one vehicle that every person in the planet that's into G.I. Joe wants. And what do they do for the second one? The freaking helicopter that everyone on the planet wants.
Knocked it out of the park.
Like, so they're absolutely dialed in 100% with their Transformer fans and their G.I. Joe fans.
They are fans themselves.
And you can't tell me, well, I'm just saying, like, you can't tell me that the Star Wars and the Marvel team are not clued in. No, it's someone higher up. It's someone even at Disney who's saying, no, you have to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we knew from that Reva lightsaber that's exactly what that was. That was Lucasfilm mandating, hey, we want to push Reva as this character because that's where all the marketing was in Obi-Wan was for Reva. And we didn't even know who this character was, and they're pushing a $500 HasLab lightsaber on us. Like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
John is right.
You guys know 100% of all the toys these toy companies make are because people are asking them to make them.
Yeah.
Like Hasbro, unless it's a G.I. Joe or a Transformer that they own, they don't say, we want to make a land speeder. Like Lego doesn't say, we want to make a Lego land speeder set. No, Lego's told by the licensee holder, we would like you guys to make this set.
Yeah, we have this coming out, this and this. We would like these sets to go along with it.
Told Hasbro.
I agree with Jonathan.
We want, here's a short list of
is not
HasLabs. Rancor being one of them. That it was picked for a reason, and it was to tie into the Book of Boba Fett. But I think, like you just said, they either on purpose or accidentally. We know it was accidentally because it was revealed accidentally by by Patrick.
Yeah, he did say it.
Probably a couple of weeks early.
Yeah.
So it was probably bumped up a couple of weeks, sadly, just so there wasn't internet rumors and people hating and whatever that stuff. And it was a mistake. So it's sad.
That rancor, I think, came from their display at Comic-Con a few years ago, where they did that whole Return of the Jedi scene with that rancor. Sure. People saw it, and they had been secretly like asking Hasbro, "Hey, is this ever going to happen? Ever going to happen?" So they thought they were going to do that HasLab. I think if they had any clue that it was going to be in the Book of Boba Fett, because I really don't think that they had any knowledge that it was going to be in the Book of Boba Fett.
Zero,
because if they had any foresight, they wouldn't have Chewbacca in lacquer and then try to sell him as Black Chrysanthemum. They would have came out with a Black Chrysanthemum for the Book of Boba Fett. So I don't think they had a clue. The problem was it was overpriced and their tiers were off. So to say they're clued in, that's, to me, I totally agree with Jonathan. They are not clued in. They have no clue whatsoever about Star Wars.
Yes and no.
What?
Yes and no, because that changed with Kenobi.
Did it?
And Andor. Yeah, both those figures had figures when the show was finished.
I think that they probably got product designs ahead of time for like the Kenobi.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So certain things up to a certain point, they had no clue about any of it. Even Mando, this third season of Mando, you would have thought we would have had a whole wave of Mando stuff ready to go and out. But
I
because those different. Those certain things are kept secret. Like,
well, that's what I mean, though. Like, so they're clued in on certain things based off the trailers they see and the stuff we see. So, like for Ahsoka, for instance, we saw that trailer last year. So they've had a whole year now to go. We can make figures based off this trailer and what we see in this trailer.
So hopefully the first 4 figures,
and hopefully when Ahsoka comes out, we have figures. Well, you know what I'm saying, though? Like, hopefully when Ahsoka comes out, we actually have stuff for Ahsoka. And we're not waiting until...
Yeah, but these figures that they announced last year for Star Wars, they're so far
we're still waiting on stuff. Yeah, we're still waiting on this. We need this Kenobi wave to get caught up.
Think about producing anything anybody wants.
Yeah. No, and that's the problem. They have too much stuff in the pipeline and like too many shows coming out that they have to try to stay in line with as well. And it's not equating to what their schedule is. Plus, they've been behind. They've been behind for a full year. This last Kenobi wave that's supposed to come out, that's hitting you already, Rick.
Yeah.
We should. That's their final wave to get caught up from last year's San Diego Comic-Con. Like, that's how far behind they are. Yeah.
That Kenobi wave, I think, and the Andor wave, I think is a product of like that same Eternals thing and the Shang-Chi, where those figures hit way before those movies came out, because they had it, and then the production got delayed on the shows, so that didn't like line up correctly. But for that, remember before Mando even premiered, we were getting a Mandalorian figure.
And Gina Carano and everything else.
First round Mando, we had like that Force Friday or whatever.
And that's what I'm saying. Along that time
2 years notice we had for Mando season 1.
Yeah. And that was right around the time of the sequel trilogy where all that stuff didn't sell. And ever since then, that's been the detriment to Star Wars. It's like they're hesitant on some stuff and then they're full go on some stuff, and it doesn't make any sense.
I want to comment on this here.
It's nothing to do.
No,
there has been some rumors now. Disney is shopping.
They only get a budget for so many new sculpts a year. I remember I hearing the numbers. I can't remember. There was the TVC guys were giving out because Black Series get twice as much as the TVC do. So that's why when you see all these TVC announcements, you'll always have a clone thrown in or a repaint done, because they only get. I'm just going to pluck the number 7 out of the air. I'm not saying that that's the number, but for argument's sake, TVC gets 7 new sculpts per year. That's what's budgeted by Hasbro, and Black Series say get 12. Yeah. So there's parity between the two lines like that, and that's where some of the aggravation between those two collectors come from. But that's why you'll only get so many new sculpts. So they can't, just because a new show is coming out, they can't say, here's 30 brand new figures, because they don't have the budget to tool for 30 new sculpts a year. That's the delay in the process there.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it depends. If they have 3 movies coming out in the next 2 years, or there'll be a lot more than 12 6-inch figures and 7
Yeah.
3 there'll be 30
for
and
those
30
for those movies.
because they got to
it's
cover
gonna happen.
After
Ahsoka
Dark.
and Acolyte and Mando and the kids' adventures and whatever. You know, there's a lot of new stuff coming out still. But based on Eric's comment here about rumors are George buying Star Wars back.
There's no one buying Star Wars. That's ridiculous.
That's
For what?
it's
Like
not just
he sold
rumors.
it, now he's buying it for garage sale prices.
Disney
He saved all his money.
is
Oh.
All right,
shopping,
so
selling.
No, they're not.
Some of their brands.
So
One of their
to
biggest brands that costs the most money is Star Wars. And the rumor, I'm not going to spread a rumor, if George Lucas was to be involved in any, it's a left coast theory, but I've watched lots of other people's theories and stuff like that, and forecasts. If George Lucas was to be involved again,
Hey, you're just
it would
making
be
stuff
with
up.
Apple. So think about, we got Disney Star Wars now. In the future, it might be Apple Star Wars, but
well, to
Tended
piggyback
by
Apple's
George
buying
Lucas.
Star Wars?
There's
So
no
just-
way they would sell. There's no way Disney's going to get rid of Star Wars or Marvel.
You can't
It's just
sell
Absolutely
Star
idiotic.
Wars
possible, man.
because
Absolutely
they got
possible.
Star Wars Land at Disneyland. They got
Yeah,
it
it's
built into
idiotic. Yeah.
their entire
So to
identity.
so to
now.
piggyback off that, the rumor only came because George was on set for Ahsoka. He was with Dave, helping Dave shoot Ahsoka.
Been on
Because
set
they're
for every show they've
friends.
done so far.
No, he was
He's been
on
on
set.
set for every
I
show.
understand-
every
I understand he's been-
Lucas
I understand that he's been on set visiting. He actually physically was on set helping Dave Filoni shoot Ahsoka. In multiple instances, he was telling.
what I was
There
told.
was just in the Empire magazine that just came out. Filoni specifically says, and so does Favreau, that George was to the point where he was like giving Dave advice and telling him, "You're shooting. You're not shooting fast enough. You're not getting these shots.
Oh,
How many shots of the backup that you have?
Listen,
Dave
Filoni
I can't
and
wait to see."
Every
Like,
what Favreau has
Lucas
written has
have
gone
been like
through
this
George's hands.
since Dave Filoni.
Oh
was
no,
a-
I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm saying is to see that he was
That's
heavily
respect.
involved in the Ahsoka show itself and like helping Dave become a filmmaker, because this is Dave's first shot at like actually. That's a good sign, guys. That's a really good sign for Ahsoka, is that the maker himself had his hand physically in this character that he created. Like, and
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson was saying how much of like an
Eric just
honor it
said here,
absolutely.
Disney is losing more than $1 billion on this Star Cruiser ride.
Yeah.
That's why they're closing it.
I know.
Yeah.
So like, you can't just print the money anymore.
No, yeah, no,
They're
and
I
then,
said
hemorrhaging
it a
some
while ago.
money
You
now,
can't
right?
slap Star Wars on something and think people are going to buy it.
And now
I've
one of these
proven that.
Hollywood
I
reporter,
have a whole bunch of Teespring shirts that nobody's interested in.
one of these Hollywood reporter news theory people are like, we're predicting Indiana Jones is only going to make $80 million. Like, that's all.
Yeah.
That's the fake rumor horseshit that no one should read, because
yeah,
I'm positive they sold $90 million in pre-sales already worldwide. So it will make a lot of money. I'm not saying it will be good or anything like that.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I'm sure it'll be very
but
entertaining.
look at take
and
the
it will make
Transformers.
all the monies, just
Yeah.
like
I'm
The
going to
Force
join you,
Awakens
Gap.
did.
But take
make
take
money.
Transformers for instance. All the critic reviews were horrible for it, and a lot of the people that have seen the movie now really seem to enjoy it and put it right up there with like Bumblebee. So
Can I say something about
Yeah, I
that?
didn't even know that was out until I
Hold
saw
on.
someone say it was great.
So the people who went and saw the Transformers movie are Transformers fans.
yeah,
Yes.
Okay. So
I didn't know it was
of
out.
course, if you're a Transformers fan and you go see a Transformers movie, you're going to love it.
yeah, but I'm saying in
Very
comparison.
rarely are you going to walk out of a movie of a franchise that you adore and walk out
Well,
and say,
that's what's gonna
Well, that's
happen with Indy, and that's why
Yeah,
those
the
reviews
menace.
were so bad of Indy from that film festival, because those people at the film festival were not an indie crowd. They're not
True.
like fans
Oh.
of the series. So,
And I think that's what's happening with this new Star Wars, right? Like that last sequel trilogy. It's so split, right? Like to me, I was so excited for it. I love the Force Awakens. Seeing it in theater was just like a total nostalgic like throwback
was,
to
yeah.
because it was basically a remake of A New Hope. Let's just admit it, right? But the thing is, it's like who don't like it are the people who
won't be recovered by now. No way. Dad's betting on a horse that broke his foot, and I'm like, no freaking way! It won't be fixed by now. I don't
But
care.
you know what I mean, right? Like
Tell your
so.
dad to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So people wanted to see like something different in the Star Wars, those are the people who are like the most vocal about like that Star Wars. The newer generation really digs that. There's
a huge fan base still. Right? It's not broken or nothing. Like
it's just
not what you expected or wanted. Right?
It's not going anywhere soon.
But I mean,
and it's going to be.
I can tell you what the Transformers movie was about. There's a bunch of Transformers, and they have some offsect of Transformers who are villains, and their Transformer society is threatened, and the world is threatened, and then they have to protect the world. So there's a big battle, a lot of destruction, and ultimately the good guys have to rise up and protect the Earth.
And there's Energon somewhere.
But that's every single movie ever made,
too.
Like
that's burnt. Just
I mean, what I'm saying is, like, if you're a critic and you're walking into that, of course you're going to tear that apart. That's been the premise.
Here's the thing, though. I don't care what movie it. Like I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to see Indiana Jones in the theater.
No,
absolutely.
I can't bother. Because here's the thing.
I'd be kicked out of the fan club.
I'm sitting at home. I'm gonna have to take a shower. I'm gonna have to get dressed. I'm gonna have to
take a shower.
No.
I'm gonna have to hold on. I'm gonna have to drive 20 minutes to the movie theater. I'm gonna have to be there like 10 or 15 minutes early.
John does not
I'm
take
gonna
a shower.
have to sit down and I'm gonna have to sit there and what watch all these other random people come in. Some big smelly guy's gonna sit next to me because he didn't have a shower.
Hey, I'm not that smelly.
And there's gonna be popcorn and stuff all over the floor. There's like people like coughing and sneezing all over me. And then the movie, I have to watch like 20 minutes of commercials before I watch the stupid movie. The movie starts, and then I got to drive 20 minutes all the way back home afterwards. So a 2-hour movie, okay? A 2-hour movie. A 2-hour movie.
Really shitty.
Not only costs me
90 minutes, John. It's a 90-minute movie.
All right, whatever. A 90-minute movie now made me take 4 hours out of my day to figure out how to go see it.
How long is your shower?
You know what I mean? So and then like a month later, like get this. How long ago was Super Mario Brothers in the theaters? 4 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
It's still in the theaters.
It's on my freaking TV screen today. You can watch it on the streaming apps. So why would I get up off my couch and spend 4 hours of my day to go to a movie theater where I'm put out and I'm hassled and I've got popcorn and crap.
John's got food service at home.
I got
I'm with you, John. I like watching stuff at home too. I prefer not going to the theater and rather watching stuff.
Go on that day.
Go on that day.
Yeah, I'm for sure going to see it in the theater. I haven't pre-bought a ticket yet, but I will go see it in the theater.
So that's why
I watch Star Wars on my TV when I can watch it in the theater.
That's why I think movies are family.
You know why I'm not seeing it in the theater? Because
it could be the last time you see Harrison Ford on the big screen.
Shower.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Chances are he will crash a plane in the next 6 months.
I gotta drive to the theater.
I gotta put on shoes.
I gotta watch a whole bunch of people come in, sitting all around me.
Have to talk to the person to buy the ticket off.
Yeah. Communicate with strangers.
Yeah.
Then make a YouTube video reviewing it.
You know, I agree though, John. It's much easier to wait.
The other side of it is most days I'm working, so I look at it as if I've been out of the house now for 6 to 8 hours, working my butt off, doing my job, and now I'm going to go sit in the theater for another 3 or 4 hours because there's 20 minutes of commercials and all these other things. You can't just go in and watch the movie, though. You got to watch all the freaking commercials and stupid shit.
When I buy my
Menudo Menendez or whatever the hell her name is,
the 7 o'clock show, I can literally show up at 7:01 and sit in the seat that I picked, and the curtains are already pulled back, and they've already shown the commercials. Like it happens, man. You don't always have to watch an hour worth of advertisements. Speaking of advertisements. Any new advertisements today from your sponsors?
If it were LeftCoastGraphics and Super Awesome Geek Show commercials and Oakhurst Studios before the movie, I'd watch them. Yeah, but
there's a couple of you were talking about big screen. There's a couple of TV shows over the past couple of years that I would have loved to see on the big screen, like maybe just a finale or something like even if it's those Game of Thrones shows or any of those shows, it would just be a fun experience to share with a bunch of people, right? So
did you guys see those pictures of Imperial Communique where he took the pictures with the guy who plays Andor and Andy Serkis and those guys? Have you seen his Instagram or Twitter where he's got posted pictures with those guys at some sort of a screening?
Yeah, he went to the Andor panel that they had in California.
Okay, yeah. That would have been
apparently
cool.
that's like a director's panel, and so my brother, who's like an animation director, he's also on the list to be able to go to these Academy events or whatever. So my brother sends me a picture of him and his wife taking a picture with Diego Luna, and my brother's like holding this soda, and I'm laughing. I was like, "You couldn't even put your soda down." They're flanked by like stormtroopers.
He was holding Diego soda for him.
No, his. That's funny. So he's telling me about these things, and what they are is, I guess it's like when they're they have an episode of the show that they are submitting for like an Emmy or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll have like a screening party or something. So these people, all these people if you're on the list, you can come, and it's like you watch this episode. There's like a dinner, and then there's like a panel. And he says he's been to quite a few of them, but this is one of the few where like the actors and directors and stuff like that actually hung around for the little after party. Most of the time, they're all gone, and it's just you.
Tony Gilroy was supposed to be there too, but because of the writer's strike, he had to back out of it.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool, but I thought it was funny because he had his soda in the picture, and I was like, "Come on!" So when I have him on, I'm going to show the picture.
Now that Super John's not here, do you think he's ever been to like a live sporting event or?
Yes, I'm sure he has.
Musicians?
Yeah, because don't they have pickleball competitions out there?
Yeah, but I mean, he'd just rather watch that on TV.
You think he is doing when he switches off the camera, Mr. Redmond? Oh, they're talking about you, Connor. Camera.
Oh, I have people coming in.
You got your Supermax. You got your Supermax out there.
Yeah, he's taking a bite and then putting it back.
Renfield. Okay, Sir Eric Brown is going to watch Renfield, and Waze has a review.
Do not.
That's Nick Cage, right?
Yeah, don't even waste your time. Vern baited me in watching that last night because he posted this thing. Oh, it was so great. I loved it. I put it on and sat there and was just like, this is the worst.
Say I watched it. I said it was on.
He just made you watch it.
Good.
Yeah.
Is there any laughing?
Not for me. I just thought it was fucking stupid. The whole entire thing, like top to bottom. There's like some crazy like Kill Bill kills, but other than that, it was like.
I'm a Nick Cage fan, so I don't know. I might
you're
have
talking
to.
about Rebels, Waze. Is that what you're?
I think I'm gonna.
You're talking about Rebels.
Love it.
Fuck you, Connor.
I'll probably think Renfield is really hilarious.
I didn't care for it. I was gonna. What was the other one you were posting to that you were gonna watch? Creed.
I'm not really.
Did you watch it?
Creed 3 is like Stallone's not in it because he didn't like the direction of the character that they were taking the character.
He wasn't in the second one either. I don't think.
And I think
Creed 3 is actually pretty good. It doesn't suck.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second one's
I'll
really
give it
good.
a chance just because it's in that same world building.
It might be the last movie we see that Krang actor in.
Well, Loki will be the last thing. Yeah.
Oh,
the trailer that surprised me this week was
stacked, right? Like he's just
the new Expendables.
Yeah.
Right. That's the trailer that surprised me.
I just want Creed 4 to be like Clubber Lang Jr.
Wait, there's Expendables.
That's all. If they don't make Clubber Lang Jr. This Rocky movie, I will have a riot all by myself.
They're doing a comic book with like his daughter. That's supposed to be like the continuation of Creed. It's like his daughter now training to be a boxer.
Let's do these action figures that I pulled up pictures for, and we'll talk about them really quick. At the end of the Hot or Not, I do have some pictures from JoeFest.
Nice.
And then we'll just talk about JoeFest a little bit because that's happening right now in Georgia. But anyways, is anybody in on these new Marvel Legends?
This looks good for Brie Larson. Like it's a good sculpt. It looks good. I don't really collect like MCU stuff, so I'm not. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get this one. Is anybody not happy with this version of the Captain Marvel? Because I know that's like a split decision out there.
I like her. She's not
the only version I would say.
bad. I just don't. I didn't watch the Miss Marvel TV show. I don't care about their movie. Like, I have no interest in the character at all.
She's dead now. Her character's dead.
I think this one looks
in the comics.
I think this
I wonder if that's in the movie too, though.
No, they'll bring Kamala back. It wasn't anything crazy. She sacrificed herself for Mary Jane.
I think this is the best likeness I think they've had so far.
It is.
Yeah, no, they've definitely been upgrading their head sculpts. Like it looks.
But still, same reason. I don't buy MCU, so I'm not getting these. But it's not just a bad figure.
It's definitely a cool sculpt though for her. You know.
Wait, I wanted to point this out. Connor's typing in his comments because you guys never let him speak. All righty.
Is there already 3 of her out there?
This is dope.
Who the hell is this?
So this is Commander Rogers.
Yeah, this is dope. This is a dope looking.
So when I saw this, because of the shield, I immediately start thinking of that 1980s Captain America TV movie.
Yeah.
You know, where he had like the plastic shield that was on, and then they throw it, and it was like a close up of the shield flying around.
Well, why this shield straps to his back though is beyond me, because it's a hollow shield. It's supposed to just be like a bracelet that he's wearing that the shield comes out of. So
it's
like I don't.
Tron. He puts it on his back. It like gives him his identity and stuff like that. He'll hold it over his head and then communicate with like a helicarrier.
Yeah. It's definitely a good, like, this is in line with that 40th anniversary cap, in my opinion, at least. Like, this is as close to that as possible.
Let's see. Gap is saying no. Connor also back to the HasLab, by the way. To say that earlier because nobody lets him speak.
This is a no for me. Definitely no.
No?
Yeah, I'm not picking it up, but it's definitely cool.
Collector, right?
It's a nice
but
the character.
I'm a 90s and 80s and 90s collector, not the modern stuff.
Okay. What about this version of Iron Man?
No.
I think for me, I am because the problem with this Iron Man is I think that it's reuse of a lot of the body parts, like those arm pieces I think I've seen before. The only real new thing I feel like on here is the helmet. But because I like the Mandalorian armors and Boba Fett, that's one of the other reasons. You know, I think it's a carryover from me being a big Iron Man fan because I really like all the different versions of Iron Man. This is what Marvel Boy. Not interested.
Yeah,
Jonathan's a past years. A lot of knots in here.
No way on this one. Nope.
This is a painted figure with looks like Star-Lord's gun, so it's like they did nothing for this guy.
Yeah.
This dude right here is because he's comic book, and I think he looks interesting to me.
Well, it's interesting because like the Inhumans don't exist anymore in the comics. They got rid of them after they performed so badly. So like it's kind of funny that like now all of a sudden they're gonna start doing Inhuman figures for no reason when they're not even like in the comics anymore.
Let's see. Hold on, Gap.
You're Judo Master from Peacemaker.
You're picking a lot of losers this week. Well, this is what they revealed.
I like that I actually like that they're doing this figure. I think for a lot of people.
I
think like sprinkling in these Inhumans is a good idea for a lot of people, but for me, no. It's like my teams are Spider-Man, X-Men, Avengers. So if they don't fit into those 3 categories, I'm generally not into them.
I totally understand. I understand.
I never even heard of this guy until this week.
This is Karnak.
I think this figure would be super cool to like have to be like comic relief in like action figure photography or something like that. Like I can see him trying to bump his head into the Hulk or something like that, and the Hulk being like,
"What's with this bucket? That looks like that clear dome."
That's what I'm saying. I just think he looks hilarious. I would love it, right?
I don't get it.
Why are they going back to pin joints on the knees? Because all the new ones don't have any pin joints.
Oh, it's because they're saving money, Connor.
Yeah, that's what it is. For using buckets. She looks good too, and the fact that they gave you the new version of the cat looks cool. But I don't care.
Yeah, I think that's like the best part of this this setup, and I think like on clearance, I think this one would be like a pretty good one to get. right?
Yeah. I like the actress. She seems to be very like knowledgeable and like really into like the Marvel stuff. So it's cool like hearing her speak and hearing her talk, but I've still yet to watch her TV show.
It is really cool that
It
when
was
you
clever.
get somebody playing a role who is actually like a comic book reader or a fan and knows a little bit, and they just didn't like get a role and then learn everything about that character. You know what I mean? So I get that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Miss Marvel is the worst face Hasbro has done. Yeah, the face likeness isn't really that good, but I think everything else is fine.
I agree. The best part is the cat, you know. But I wouldn't buy. I'm not going to buy this. No way.
Yeah, not for the cat. That's for sure.
And I mean, the last Miss Marvel is like literally on clearance right now, still. Like, so it's not.
And the photo
Monica Rambeau
sounds good, but I'm kind of like, to me, it's once again, it's these promo pics. I don't know.
They did a great job with her head sculpt though, and the hair. Like, it looks really good. Yeah.
I think if you were to see this though, right, you would be going like, okay, well, who is this and what is this character supposed to do? If you had nothing else, right? You're looking at this picture and this is supposed to entice you to want it. So this character walks. You know what I mean?
I don't know what she comes with either. Like, does she come with any kind of anything?
Yeah, she has like the little fist things or something like that, like the little glowing things on her hands or something. And then of course they made the Hulk to build a figure. So if you want this Hulk, you have to get a.
And this is the one you want.
Nobody wants.
It's cool. I wouldn't mind, but I mean,
Amadeus Cho Hulk.
Yeah, not for all those.
This will be one of those Build-A-Figures that people won't be able to build and resell for $50.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's the least. It's my least favorite version of any Hulk they've ever made so far.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. And like this was only a Hulk that was really around for a short amount of time. So
I think that this Hulk is the reason why I kind of liked it was the shorts. I think they would go with that the She-Hulk a little bit. I see a lot of those. Nobody's interested in this Hulk, by the way. So I got maybe a little bit of opportunity. This could be like a Hey Vern Hulk with that hair. That's the way I see it.
That's what it is. It's
Amadeus, just like yours.
Amadeus Cho. So, it's not.
So you guys think Dan, you're not happy with me, but come on. He just made me the Hulk.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I thought you would be like immediately in on this one. Like
Vern's doing his hair like
but
that.
now the entire wave of figures.
But you know what? Snag it on clearance.
Yeah.
I'm like complimenting every figure in the wave is because I'm trying to convince myself that I could get this Hulk, but there's just no way it's gonna happen.
That's what I mean. You're gonna get it. You'll have this Hulk. Watch.
No.
I was gonna say the same thing with what's going on in stores right now. When I saw the Chode Build-A-Figure, like I saw the pictures up close. I'm looking at one in my hand, the box in my hand. I want that Chode action figure.
Yeah.
But the only figure in that entire wave that I wanted to buy was at the White Queen, Emma Frost. Every other character I do not want. So I'm like,
I'm surprised you don't want.
It's kind of like, do I buy them all, take the Build-A-Figure piece and try to sell the figures, or do I try to go online and just buy all the Build-A-Figure parts and build the figure?
I think
because I want Chode that bad.
You don't want Corsair though with Chode? Like that would be a cool Scott's dad and his boy.
The problem, John, is like if those figures are going to sit on shelves and eventually go on clearance for like $10, good luck selling the figures.
Those ones
have to get to 3 months early.
Surprisingly, though, that wave has been like everywhere. Every Target I've gone, it's been moving that wave. I think because of like Cyclops, Emma, and Corsair, like them being ones that people have wanted for a while.
I see those figures you just mentioned on the shelves every time I go.
Really? See them all by me. They're all gone. They were up and then they were all gone.
Every time I walk in there, the same figures are sitting there.
And like I'm
the boxes too.
I'm the one responsible for the Quentin Quire too, which I feel like ashamed for. I specifically asked Dan Yoon for that figure and like told him with the psychic shotgun, but I didn't want that version of Quentin Quire. I wanted like him and his Wolverine and X-Men gear. Yeah, so he gave me the fucking X-Force version. I was like,
So this is the other reason why that entire wave doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So this Hulk right here is a single release that was a Build-A-Figure at one point, right? To get this Gladiator Hulk, it was a Build-A-Figure.
It was.
So
I bought this wave and sold the other figures
for a
2-year period.
You know, waiting it out, and then they just released that other one on his own.
Yeah.
This is the only wave I bought of Marvel Legends, I think, ever. And that was just so I get this.
Yeah, to get this.
And then I sold all the figures, but it took me 2 years.
Yeah,
sell them for like $10 a piece. Like
I will tell you that this one right here, I think is awesome. I try to look at comparison pictures to compare them to the Build-A-Figure, and I got to say, if you gave me a choice, I'd probably get this one.
Yeah, that blue armor looks good.
Yeah.
It does look good.
Yeah.
Now I saw that Gentle Giant has a pre-order for a jumbo Darth Vader.
They do.
Did somebody do this? Did we know? Do we know somebody that works and does stuff for them?
I draw the face.
You worked on this one, right?
Go ahead and plug it.
A year ago. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that helmet comes off, and then there's an egghead underneath.
There's an egghead underneath. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't get any pictures of that, but I wanted to show that off.
And I think there will be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive announced, but I don't think they've announced it yet.
Okay. Is this
besides for Star Wars, they announced Indiana Jones exclusive jumbo, but they haven't announced
this is
the
going to
Star
come
Wars.
on a card. I haven't seen any other pictures, and I didn't know. So it's going to be card. Is the helmet going to be off in the card or on?
I don't know. I've not worked on the card back for it. I may not. If they may ask me. They have lots of times, but
all right.
Yeah.
Well, we'd like to see it first if they are going to. So sneak us. Don't tell them though, because we won't let anybody know.
This isn't live.
Yeah. No one sees this.
I'm hoping that they start shipping the Boba Fett and Ahsoka soon, because those are more than a year and a half ago that I worked on those.
And you got the Thrawn one too, right? That's a cool one.
Yeah, I got the Thrawn one. And they just recently sent me a bust that I did not work on at all, but I mean, it's badass, man.
Yeah, I saw your video. That was cool.
How about this little Chucky dude?
That's cool looking.
Anybody interested?
I don't buy. I'm not like a horror fan, so nah.
Yeah, if Dino was here, he would say, "Oh yeah, I got to definitely get that."
Yeah, Dino's in on all the horror stuff.
I think it's cool. I think for like action figure pictures, it would be kind of cool to get. I just saw that on Peacock.
Why does it have a figure stand? It looks like it's low center of gravity. Maybe the head is big, isn't it?
I think that the head is probably too heavy, and he needs that stand to really.
What do they call these cutesies or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Seems like an odd addition.
Chucky fan.
Are those a Sideshow or Hot Toy ones?
You're asking the wrong person. I don't know anything about these things.
I just download pictures off the internet.
I just the pictures. How about these McFarlane, the Blue Beetle? They showed the announcements. This is based on that movie. They had one trailer. The trailer looked pretty good, and then all of a sudden they stopped promoting it for some reason.
Yeah, this looks cool. It looks like it's going to be a decent movie. That kid from Cobra Kai playing Blue Beetle. So
yeah, but I mean,
it'll be a lot like the Miss Marvel show.
Yes, they released a trailer, right?
Honest,
like a month or so ago. Has anybody heard anything else since that trailer?
No, because I think it's still up in the air as to like when this is dropping.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
I think because of everything that happened with Flash and all the pushing back and everything else, I think this was like the other thing that was in line with this, because this was announced way back then. Like, so this is this has been going on for quite a while too, but it's done. It's ready to go. It's just when
their budget is marketing the Flash movie now, which I think is premiering today in Hollywood or something, right?
Next week.
So Dino says no on the Chucky after all.
Okay.
If you guys were, if it was bothering you and you needed to know the answer to that. What about this one from the Blue Beetle?
This looks cool. It's just that I don't know. If you're into bots and stuff, it's cool. Yeah.
There's another mech suit guy he revealed today too.
Yeah, the Batman mech suit. That looks cool.
I didn't get that because I don't put anything from today in because I was busy working yesterday on all this stuff. Connor, what were you saying when these guys cut you off? So you don't have to type it in the chat.
No, I said it's a cool looking figure, but don't know anything about the character, so
Yeah,
it does look good though.
looks cool, but I mean, like, there's got to be some reference, like maybe after you see the episode of the show or something like that, right?
Yeah.
You may change.
Once
But I
flashes,
know Waze is 100% in on all of the McFarlane figures now.
No. I am in on the Joker though. If you're going to show that new Joker that they showed off, that looks incredible.
Oh, with the one with the mask, the Heath Ledger one.
Yeah, I need that.
So get this, my GameStop in Canada every Friday they have $5 Fridays, where they'll put some video games and toys and knickknacks, whatever, in a little bin. But they throw them on their website, which I'm finding out now. So I went to my GameStop yesterday. Whole bin must have like 50 McFarlane figures, lots of them.
Yeah.
But I was looking at the website of what they had. I was trying to get one of those Avatar mech suits.
Oh, okay.
$5. But she had them all on their counter. She sold them all on the website before the store opened. I'm like, what? So people can buy them on the website before you put them out for sale, and then nobody in the mall can buy them? Yep. I'm like, I'll have to remember that next Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of deals, man. $5.
Okay, so cool. we had some GI Joe reveals. These are like some renderings, right? This is the Crimson whatever Viper.
Yeah.
John?
I don't need any more Vipers.
He's pretty cool, but I'm starting to think the same way. Like, why do I need another Viper?
Yeah, like just another same thing with bats. I don't need any more of these. Like, I have enough.
He's red.
Yeah, they've done what? They've done
6 versions.
They've done the blue, the gray, the purple. Now they did the Python.
Yeah.
Now they're doing.
And Jonathan's definitely in on the Viper.
Yeah, I can see it, especially because like I have the twins with the Crimson Bats and the Crimson Guards. It looks phenomenal. So adding like 2 more of these to that would be nice, especially because supposedly the rumor for San Diego is the Baroness and the twins in the Crimson outfits to go with this. So.
All right, so then you're gonna have to get the Crimson Viper.
You would, I mean, if you wanted it to be all like a Crimson Squad, you would have.
You would, right? Because you'd have your whole Crimson shelf.
Well, I have that already, so like, yeah.
So you're gonna need this guy.
I don't think I need these though.
All right.
I'll pass.
Let's see. I only remember seeing the Tomax and Zema with the Crimson Guards. I do not remember a single cartoon episode where they had Crimson Vipers.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
or Crimson Bat Troopers.
What happened was they were watching on their Sony Trinitron TV, and they clicked that little color button, which took out half the colors, and then all of a sudden they were red.
Well, in the comics, there's all different ones too. So like that's where they're getting some of these from. But yeah, it's just repaints to do repaints at this point.
Yeah. So everybody's vipered out here. Gap. He's actually calling it vipered out. John? Connor?
Yeah, all in.
I'll get this guy, yeah.
I don't like the Steel Brigade helmet. I never liked the Steel Brigade figure.
Well,
that aside, I think this guy's cool.
Yeah, he looks cool. I'll probably pass on him though.
Steel Brigade and Action Force Valaverse has their own Steel Brigade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like an interesting conundrum.
Well, the funny thing is that you'll notice this one is different. The real Steel Brigade action figure from GI Joe looks a lot more like the Valaverse Action Force one.
Yeah.
But so Hasbro had to change the colors. The helmet's similar, but they had to change for that, and it's too bad because
I like the helmet a lot. So I like the fact that it's a helmet and not just an interchangeable head or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be more selective, like with what Joes I'm buying, because there's so many of them, and they're so I'm out on this one.
I also think that this figure right here is a great base figure because of the outfit that's underneath.
It's definitely an easy custom.
Yeah, easy to custom up. What about anybody get the Arctic Bat?
Yeah, I dropped the pre-order.
That looks cool. Yeah, it looks cool.
I'm not going to
believe the accessories with this guy, right? Is it more than the other bats?
No, they just swapped out what the other bat the attachments for the arms and stuff are now the sniper rifle and the saw instead of the guns and stuff.
Did the other one have a chainsaw arm?
No.
No, the other one didn't. That's why they swapped the attachments out.
They included the backpack with this when you're not getting all the extra accessories because it has all the slots for them. Which
do you know why this guy? Does anybody know why this guy has a chainsaw attachment?
Because it's badass.
Because like when you're in the Arctic, you're going downhill skiing. Sometimes there's a tree in your way. So
no, because Cobra's new way to destroy the world is through global warming. So they went up to the Arctic to cut all the trees down.
I mean, this will look cool with Snow Job, but like if you're not putting the Snow Job's an expensive figure, and then this too. So like you'd have to be putting together the Arctic Squad. If you're not, you have no reason to pick this up.
It worked for Ash.
That's the thing. I mean, like with this guy, you'll have 3 snow figures already if you get the Snow Job, right? You'll have this guy, Snow Job, and the Arctic Storm Shadow, who was actually hiding out on Cobra Island when those guys came out.
Oh yeah, I need that Arctic Storm Shadow.
The weird thing to me is I know they did this because it was probably really easy, an easy repaint, but it's kind of like I would much rather have the Snow Serpent. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why they've been or like Cobra Eels. Like why don't we have an Eels figure? Like
was this?
That's the thing that I look at when I see all these. No, this was not a character. The original black and yellow bat was the only bat.
Yeah, John, you're using the same logic that people use when you talk about Star Wars when they say, "Why don't we have a Lobot instead of having this figure that nobody?"
I think we need an all red Boba Fett for no reason.
Yeah,
just because they haven't done one yet.
Right, instead of Lobot or a Cloud Car Pilot or let me think.
And I know they're coming out with the Televiper,
or
the Televiper's coming soon, so we do get another.
Yeah, that's
another trooper soon.
Now this is probably the most outstanding announcement of the week, right?
Tiger Force Duke,
especially because people have this figure in hand already.
Because of the other versions of this Duke just completely
Tiger Force
right away.
Tiger Force, you know.
So does he blend in like with a pride of tigers?
So like Bees Battlegrounds has had this for like a month and a half already, and like posted pictures.
Colors are a little different
every day.
The problem is like this is a better Tiger Force Duke than the Duke we got with the Tiger Force vehicle.
Well, this is Dusty.
Right?
This is the Dusty one. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Dusty. But the thing is, you could use this for the Duke, and you can just
you could
helmet Tiger to ride
Force,
the motorcycle with.
Tiger Force Dusty had camouflage pants as well, so I was confused. This looks more like the coloring of the original Tiger Force Duke, except
Tiger Force Duke that came with the motorcycle didn't even come with the helmet.
No.
Yeah.
So he can't even ride the thing because in California are not illegal.
Not by John. John, you got to wear sunglasses in Florida if you drive them.
Let's see. I'm at Target. Anyone need anything?
Short round.
Oh, I could use give me a 2-liter of soda, bag of chips. I want some there's these little like cool sandwich packs that they have in the freezer section.
Oh, and duck food. We need duck food.
And then mail them out today.
Yeah.
There's a couple of hots in here. This is a hard pass.
Yeah, I was shocked this sold out. This
Ericson's baby diapers. There you go.
So like I thought the Televiper and the Trouble Bubble would be immediately sold out, but instead it was this, the Arctic Bat and Dusty that sold out, and I was like, what?
And what about this? I mean, like this is just another version of the
Crimson.
Right. See, this is the other way. This goes the other direction. Like
this is a Crimson Guard and Python Patrol.
To me, it makes no sense because, see, the reason is because Tomax and Zaymot were their own entity. They were extensive enterprises. They had their own military, which was the Crimson Guard. It did not really mix with Cobra. So Cobra had the Vipers and their Cobra Troopers and Televipers and Bats. So they didn't really mix into the ranks of the Tomax and Zaymot's troops. They were almost two separate entities, but working together. So you shouldn't really have Python Patrol versions of the Extensive Enterprise characters because Python Patrol was Cobra, not Extensive Enterprises.
Yeah.
And the other way around, you shouldn't have Crimson Guard versions of Cobra Troopers because Crimson stuff was Extensive Enterprises, not Cobra.
I can understand. So there's a generational gap. So kind of when I finished playing with Action Force, that's when Tiger Force came out. So you're going to have collectors that were of that age that started playing with Tiger Force, Joe. So
and Python Patrol,
This is just a quick cash grab.
Yeah.
He did.
Wait a minute. I got to go back. Jonathan, Connor, I gotta ask you something. In your statement, you said, when I stopped playing with Action Force.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. Stopped.
You haven't stopped.
I might have moved on to He-Man at that stage. So I remember though, the last figure I got was Jinx. That's the last.
Jinx is awesome. Yeah, I love that figure.
She's
I never got anyone after that. So
the last one I got was the orange barbecue.
I think that just the name. It's like I just think the names Python Patrol and Tiger Force sound cool.
Yeah.
But the problem is the Tiger Force GI Joe team looked way better than Python Patrol.
John keeps holding that up, so let me just do this so he can.
These just arrived. They just arrived.
No way.
Just now while we were sitting here.
That's when
he's supposed to be opening these things up later on a live stream.
No, that's the live stream opening is the gifts from Geek Strong and Andy at Holo Chronicles. These were just things I ordered myself in the mail.
Moccasin would look cool in any colors.
All right. So also in Augusta right now, they have the JoeFest is going on. So Valaverse, of course, is there with their peddling their wares, which is the Valaverse version of the Magnum PI figure. They got the Warpath, and this is on display. So earlier they were speculating. They were saying that they think that maybe by San Diego Comic-Con they'll paint the Dragonfly, but I think it's going to be too soon for San Diego Comic-Con because it's like less than a month away, or about a month away for them to paint it.
Oh yeah, they can't paint anything.
I'll paint it.
So I think that like what's going to happen is probably when they get there, they will have that prototype markup in the case, but it will be unpainted, in my opinion, right? Yeah. But so here's some pictures of the Action Force vehicle, Mizari or Zakiri or whatever the car company is called.
Now this is partnered. It's partnered with a real military vehicle
or something like that. Riven
which country's military uses this vehicle?
It's a U.S. It's a U.S.
It's not America. I know it's made in America.
Hold on, the car is U.S. based supposedly, and Action Force is based in the States after supposedly the country was broken apart or something like that. That's their backstory.
I was just mean like which military world force uses this vehicle?
Apparently, whatever the company that he paired with, so whatever their weapons like dealer or whoever they deal to this is their tactical vehicle that they sell to the military. I don't know who specifically.
Do they make a tactical vehicle, or are they just a high-end luxury car?
No, they're actually a military vehicle. Like that was the whole thing. He actually inked a deal with this company that works with the military to make these look exactly like whatever that company makes.
Do they work for the military? Or do they just work maybe for like one of these companies like
they just could be an arms manufacturer and sell stuff to anybody. But
I'd say they're an automobile manufacturer.
I know he partnered with like somebody who actually works with like sell stuff to the military, and this is a design thing like in cooperation with them.
Okay, so Riven is the company. Let's see, I'm guessing 200-ish. I think it's going to probably be more.
I think it's going to be more than
base vehicle or whatever. But I bet you all this, like this turret's going to be like $70 or something like that.
Yeah, so like add-ons. Yeah,
like you were saying that they were supposed to be like add-on packs and build-up packs.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
You're going to get a base offering of the vehicle, and then you're going to get these other packs to buy to change out stuff and add on to it.
So here's my question: do you think that turret's supposed to turn, or is that gun only allowed to shoot forward?
Probably turn. I would assume.
So if it turns, what's the purpose of having that other machine gun?
Because when you run out of bullets on the big one, you grab the little one.
You run out of bullets.
Yeah,
I think it's
the whole
it's
thing's on a
huge,
thing, though, maybe.
a huge accomplishment, for him to be making, a high end, big toy like this. I
think it looks cool. I think it's
not
great
an
that they're doing it.
appealing military army vehicle. I don't know. I'm not an army kid.
Yeah,
I grow up with guns and play with GIJOEs.
It supposedly fits 8 figures though too, which is kind of crazy. Like, because you could stand them on the outside of the bumper, like on the on the guardrails of the car, and then 4 inside, and then 1 in the top. Like, that's pretty cool.
But I get what Rick's saying. That like.
Oh yeah, no, I agree too.
To me, it doesn't look military enough, so I don't want to buy it. I
know you can't just say I'm making a Humvee and make a Humvee, because there's licensing, and there's and that's why he did make a licensing deal with this, American business. I get it. I just don't get it at the same time.
So I agree. The thing is, like, this vehicle maybe doesn't look military from a military perspective, but I think that,
but if they painted it
private military, I think that for a company
like they painted it,
paint it camouflage or green or
what?
Yeah,
paint it in whatever military army colors it might be used for.
Some sort of mercenary group might buy this type of a vehicle, right? And armor it out. I've seen armored like Toyota Land Cruisers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I mean it'll look great, especially with his tank and the chopper. You'll be able to make a whole cool scene with all this, but do you have the space for it? That's the question.
No, I don't know how I can guess how big it is based on the size of the figures. But I wish. What?
Sorry to speak up. I just got to cut out. I got to go record a podcast with collecting.
Okay. All right, Rick.
See you later, Rick.
See you, Rick.
Cheers, guys.
See you next time. So I think that with this vehicle, right? Like I'm like, I wish that I was able to find a picture. There is this one, right, where somebody's standing behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish that there was a picture of somebody holding it or something, so you can kind of get a gauge at how big it would be.
You can tell that it's pretty big though. Like, to fit 4 figures inside, 1 in the top like that. Like, it's got to be at least pretty big. That's what I'm saying, Jono. I agree. I think it's going to be like $350 for the size of this thing. Like, okay,
so Jonathan's saying he's saying 100% is going to be less than $350 because of what they said about the HasLab.
Yeah, but I still think it'll be still in the same range. I think it'll be less than the HasLab, but it'll probably still be in that same range.
I think it's going to be $400.
You think?
Oh,
yeah, you know why? Because one, he's a smaller business.
Oh well, yeah.
So his production costs, I think, are going to be a lot higher unless he does it as a crowdfunding.
Well, that's what a lot of people were assuming to begin with, that this would be some sort of.
But it doesn't look like he's going to do it as a crowdfund. And so for him, like, he made that big error. Like, I don't know if you realize that. So he had that Dusty figure or whatever, and he had to clearance those out because they thought that was going to be a big success, and they had ordered more of that figure than any of the other figures. They had them taking up space in the warehouse. So they were doing the buy 3 get 1 free, and then they reduced the price to like $12 or something like that. Is just like, with this type of a thing, how many can he actually keep in his warehouse? So how many can he actually purchase? And if he can't purchase as many as he thinks he should, then the price is going to be higher per unit, unless it's a buy it and then we make it and send it to you.
See, I've still yet to purchase.
I think he's going to try and really keep the cost down on the.
He's saying, so apparently, what?
I think he's going to try and keep the cost down on this, and I think the VAL ads for that company will be the add-on packs then, and that's probably where they're looking to capitalize on some profit on it. But what Jonathan was saying there, particularly based on the back of the Charger, the HasLab, I think and seeing that, a vehicle at $350 didn't sell to the fans, and there's a large enough fan base there, you could argue that they could have, that they will try and keep the cost down on the initial unit, but it will be the add-on packs is where they'll probably look to make a few bucks on it.
Well, you'll probably be over that. Yeah, I agree with you, Connor. Like, by the time you really want to build this thing and add all those add-on packs, you're going to be spending upwards of like $500 on all the different add-on packs. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
That's probably, you guys are right. That's probably the way he'll go. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Brian.
So Jonathan's saying it's a Kickstarter. I didn't hear that until right this second.
Okay, it makes sense for it to be like we were saying. Like that would be the way to do it if he doesn't want to hold on to it.
Yeah, if it's a crowdfunding, that's something different. So is it going to be like a Kickstarter to like initiate the whole thing? Because he's already spent all the money on producing the molds or printing this thing out or the design. So at what point is this no longer a Kickstarter and just something that they would put into production? Because what are you paying for in a Kickstarter? If he doesn't get to his goal, well, you already did it.
Yeah, but he's not going to put it in production and make the units if it's not going to reach its like you were saying, he's not going to sit on these or have
but
to.
The thing is, half the cost of Kickstarters typically is the producing like everything to make the product. Because
he's a small company. That's what you were saying. Like he's not a major distributor. So like if you're doing something on this scale, chances are that's probably the best route for him to go. So he's not sitting on the product like you were saying. Because
and if this one or two prototypes that he made were 3D printed on a 3D printer, then it cost practically. It didn't cost him that much to make that model. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just for the prototype.
Modeling it and then.
So Chaz is saying between 175 and 190. Okay, yeah.
Well, we'll see.
I gotta go too. I'm gonna be on Rum's channel in a minute, so.
Okay, we're wrapping up in 10 minutes anyway.
Let's see you guys later, all right?
Lots to talk about. All right, John. So supposedly he announced it today at the show. So
okay,
I mean, if that's the case, then,
Chaz is good too. Chaz is in on all the Joe stuff. He posts a lot on Instagram about like all the information. So I trust what he's saying. Then that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Well.
Good
all right. So yeah, Jonathan, I didn't think that these were 3D printed yet. I thought they were from production molds or something like that. But I get it. If these are 3D printed, that totally makes sense. These prototypes could potentially be worth a lot later, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially if they don't get made. Like that's a huge thing that down the line.
So those are the only pictures that I actually pulled up. But I know you guys were sharing some pictures earlier of these like monster team, and I had seen those on the Big Bad Toy Store for pre-order and stuff like that. And I got to say, those things were actually like really cool looking.
So like the first initial ones were really cool. They're $36.99 a figure. They come with like a lot of stuff though, multiple
really cool
weapons kit. But this second wave, Bees Battlegrounds is there, and he was posting all the pictures, and I couldn't get over some of the new that Frankenstein looks awesome. The multiple werewolves, and like the fact that they're working with another company to, I guess, like quote unquote lease licenses for monsters. So like that's why we're getting like that King Kong looking one, the Sasquatch looking one, like all that stuff goes like doing something along those lines and being a small company, but making something that can fit not only with Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, and Star Wars. Like you're kind of catering to everybody, and you can kind of pick and choose like, oh, I want this for this display or this for this setup. It makes it pretty cool.
There's also another company there. I follow them on Instagram. I think, well, it's not a company, it's a guy. And it's a lot like the Monster Squad. I think it's called Fist. And it's kind of set in futuristic, where it's kind of human soldiers fighting these futuristic goblins. And he was running a Kickstarter. Now, I don't think it funded, but I think he's at JoeFest as well. And
maybe they're all getting together,
roll it out. But he's got some really good designs, a lot like those monster ones in design. So as you were alluding to their ways, there's huge potential for different lines to pick and mix from to build up a display.
Yeah, and especially to like we were saying, like if you want some of these Monster Squad guys for your Joes, they could be experiments from Cobra Commander and Mindbender. That Frankenstein platform. Like I'm thinking about ordering that for Mindbender. Like that's great to just and put a bat on it or some kind of monster, and there's Mindbender playing around, in your display. Like really cool. I definitely. There's a few
they
like
have
that. the werewolf, everything.
Yeah, Frankenstein's table is awesome, and I think that they just put that back into stores, right? As one of the accessories.
The NECA one,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm talking about the one that they showed off with Monster Squad. Like, it looks more in line with like something you'd see with Joe's. Like, it's got that feel to it. It's not necessarily like old like Frankenstein. It's like more modern technology looking. Like, it looks cool. It looks like it would definitely go great, or even Star Wars stuff or whatever. Yeah.
So this is the Robo Skull. Connor, did you back this?
I didn't back it, and I'm probably going to regret it at the time when it comes out. But as I could be wrong, but as far as I know, that Kickstarter reopened today. So if anyone didn't back it and is interested in getting in, look it up, because there was links circulated today on social media that you could get in and get the base model or the base tier on this. I think it's $275, $290.
Yeah, it just looks so cool. I don't know anything about the Robo Skull.
Now, what scale is this? This is small, a 3.75 or 112?
This is dual scale, so it's designed for 375, right? So Robo Skull was designed by Palitoy back in the 80s to go with Action Force.
Okay.
So it was kind of their version of a TIE fighter, so to speak. Now, I never had a kid. It was one of the ones I would have really loved to have picked up as a kid. But it was an amazing toy. It's such a cool toy. When they designed this, they did design it for 375, like the original, but the cockpit comes out and you can put another one in, and it fits 6-inch figures. And they designed 3 or 4 6-inch figures. So if you were to back this or pre-order it, you can pick and mix the characters you want to come with your delivery.
That's cool.
So you add your tiers on, so to speak, of what you want.
Yeah, that's really
cool.
So
it looks awesome, dude. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
He went all in on the Robo Skull, is what he's saying.
Okay.
So sick.
Jonathan saying that he regretted not backing it, but you still apparently got a chance, so you can jump in. Jonathan saying 3.75 or 1 6-inch figure in the cockpit. I think that thing is cool, man.
That's cool. That's cool to be giving you the option. Like, that would be a nice thing that some of these other lines should incorporate too. Like, hey, we're going to make this vehicle, but we're going to give you the option for which scale you want. That's cool.
Hey, Andy. Or Josh.
Hey.
Andy.
Hello. Yeah, so like the thing is, but before this thing ever got announced, I had never heard of that before, by the way. So I think
I wasn't familiar with it either, but Connor's been filling us in on a lot of the Action Force stuff that I didn't really know about, and so it's pretty cool learning about it.
I'm trying
those newer Monster Squad figures, I don't know, I might dabble in a couple of them.
Yeah, I did, because I saw them a few months ago when it was announced, and Big Bad Toy Store had them up immediately for pre-order, and they looked amazing, and the accessories they come with are fantastic. But like that, I was just like, at the moment, if I want Action Force figures, I'm importing them from the US. It's costing me an absolute arm and a leg, because you're paying. Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
You pay the flat rate shipping, then I'm paying an extra $16 to get them shipped over here through a post forwarding company.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm getting hit for customs, so it's to get into another line from the US. It just probably isn't financially viable at the moment.
Yeah, unless like Big Bang was to pick this line up and carry them, then that would be your easiest way of like, all right, I don't have to worry about it. I could just pick them up through Big Bang.
Oh, if Big Bang were to pick them up,
you should mention something to them and just hey, these things are coming out. They're exclusively through Big Bad Toy Store. Maybe it's something you guys can get your hands on. Like, that would be great.
It would be interesting, but some of these. Like they remember the Santa Claus figure that was out in that range.
Yeah, that's the same company. It's the same company.
So some of they never made it over here. Like, we're such a small market. You're talking, if you think about, you guys are a real niche market in the States.
Yeah.
Just imagine this little tiny island. It's even
even smaller. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Just not a market.
I'm glad though that like even like with the HasLab, like you were able to find a way around that, because originally you were like, I know Jonathan was saying like they're not even offering it to us in Ireland, but you were able to still find a way to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to pay heavy for it. So they will deliver to a company a PO box address in the United Kingdom. they'll ship it over here. They'll only charge me about $6 or $7 to ship it over, but I'm going to have to pay customs and excise duty on it, which so our VAT rate is 23%, but there's actually customs in that as well. I'm probably going to be paying it the guts of 120, 130 on top of the actual product.
The actual HasLab price.
How does that work? Like if say like I were to pick up Action Force figure and for you, like do you still have to pay those import taxes?
No, because you'd be sending that as a gift. So when I'm sending stuff to the States, I'm sending my nephew a birthday present that's worth about €5. So
oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but I like so. Like I think the whole Eurozone was moving towards this cracking down on custom and excise duty, but then when the UK pulled out, that just for the likes of us guys that were buying stuff back and forth, it just crippled us having to pay that.
It made it work.
You're paying nearly a fifth again on top of everything you buy, which is a lot. It eats into the hobby.
Yeah.
Look at that Frankenstein.
That's what I'm saying. That looks awesome to me. That and the werewolf, like those are the two that I'm like, all right, I might feel a little itchy to pick those up.
So here's what I noticed about these, and I wanted to point this out. So I'm looking at these pictures, and there's the tag, Weapons by Gridiron Studios.
Yeah, they partnered with him, so now he's going to be doing all the loadouts for the Monster Squad figures going forward.
So that's really cool.
Plus separate packs that will be exclusive to Gridiron that will go to these. So like he's going to do the weapons loadouts that'll come with the figure, but then he's also going to be doing special Monster Squad like releases on his website to partner with them. That's cool. Really cool.
I just think it looks awesome.
And you've been a big fan of Gridiron. You picked up a couple things
for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
This guy looks cool.
The cigars that he just did looks cool. Like the cigar set for like $15, and you get the different size cigars, the smoke effects at the box. That looks really sweet.
If they were less expensive, if they were like $10, and I could justify like adding them in with something else, right?
Yeah.
With shipping, but I feel like I can just get some like a plastic stick and just cut them into that length and maybe paint them myself or something like that, right?
This is one that's cool that like goes into Star Wars. That's what I was saying. I was like, you could use this as a bounty hunter, whatever. So
Gridiron designs all Action Force weapons according to Jonathan.
No, it's
Gridiron
actually
still all 3D printed. No, Chaz. Okay.
What did you say, Connor?
So it's Mark's 2 toys. He's now designing all the Action Force weapons.
Okay.
And actually, I don't know if you ever checked him out. You can buy from his website. He has a couple of weapon sets, and you have to paint them yourself. But if you wanted to add them into your Joes, he's kind of made them that they're the correct weapons to go with the character.
That's cool. Gridiron does some good stuff too. It's just expensive. That's the only thing, because it comes in a custom case. It comes with everything.
Yeah, this set was actually really cool for me. I really dug it. This is actually going to really
details on it are fantastic.
No, and like even just the single guns like that come in like the ammo case with like the foam in it, and like literally the guns like you actually got it like from a weapons manufacturer. Like that's cool. Yeah.
They come really well packaged. This is actually scuba gear.
Okay.
Let me take it out. And the reason why is because if Torpedo ever arrives, he's got to have somebody to challenge underwater.
And so, Action Force Vern has to go swimming with him.
No, it's going to be probably like a Cobra Trooper, but this is like the rebreather piece.
Cool.
So I think that's a sticker, so it sticks to him. And then, of course, fins and a mask.
That's really cool.
And I did get one extra mask so somebody can like free dive.
Cool. That'll be sweet though. Yeah.
Oh, the details on them are excellent. There's no getting away from it.
Yeah, I definitely have to order some more 3D printed stuff. I got the itch now for it. I'm loving it. Like so, I have to order some more.
See, I'm a sucker for all the extras, the accessory packs and stuff.
Yeah.
The Gridiron to get them shipped is just crazy. So I just enjoy
toys.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Mark II toys.
Yeah, You can follow Mark II Toys there over on Instagram. He's designing the weapon sets for Action Force.
Okay.
He's selling his own weapon set A, weapon set B that he designed, and they're injection molded and stuff. They're not 3D printed weapons. You do have to paint them yourself, but they're easy enough, and they are.
That's no problem.
Are those the sets that you picked up, Connor?
Yeah. I got A and B.
No, because I remember seeing your video that you painted them and you did everything and were showing them off, so I wasn't sure. But you fixed Indy?
Yeah, that's the belt that came from Gridiron.
Oh, okay.
Comes with like a wire whip, nice hook on there, so it just sits on there perfectly. This thing just folds up.
That looks really good.
The best part about this is I can't get the gun out. Is the pistol? It's a little big, but it's way better than that one that came with him, and it's not some flimsy plastic, right? So
that's cool. Yeah, no, because that was the thing a lot of people were complaining about was like the Indy, you couldn't put the whip on the belt, and then that's why everyone was like going crazy over that SH Figure Arts one that they just released.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that SH Figure Arts has to come out and show Hasbro like how it should have been done.
They nailed that though. Like that's a perfect Indy, swappable arms, the removable hat, everything.
So check this out. So yeah, it's the Rubber Gun Squad. So this is the
Club Obi-Wan.
Club Obi-Wan, right? And this is from I think Bounty Supply Company. For hat that they have, and I painted it up for my custom Indy. But this is what if you had like a hat and you put it on like your Indiana Jones figure, it does look a little bit big on him, right? So it's just like from certain angles, like it could look decent, but otherwise it's a little bit big. So I am kind of glad, I guess, after all, that they did that removable hat thing, because otherwise the hat would just look too big. So I'm glad that they did the.
I mean, you are going to get the removable. Short round comes with the removable, comes with the extra hat. So I mean, you could just put a Harrison Ford head from Han on there, and then you have the hat that comes on, comes off.
I was only able to secure that whip, the original whip, with Indiana Jones once, and I was never able to do it again.
That's what a lot of people were saying, that it was a pain in the ass.
I'm not a fan of SH Figure Arts. Face is not great, not worth 4 times their price.
I've been debating.
I haven't decided yet because Amazon Japan still have it up from pre-order.
Yeah,
I'm tempted. I'll see.
Yeah. It's nice.
On pre-order, so
I didn't pick up any of the indie figures yet, but I've been debating picking up the one that comes with the idol, the one that's on Shop Disney right now.
Yeah, that one actually looks pretty decent.
Because like if I'm gonna have one indie in like the collection, like that would probably be, it comes with the display. Plus I can also use that display with like the Ahsoka stuff with the temple and all that. So like it might work.
I think the wave was good to do because then you get
you get to build a piece, to build the art.
The art is actually nice. I didn't get what's his name, Belloc or whatever, so I don't have the 2 sticks. But I figure I'll just get some like straws or something and paint them gold.
And you can figure it out, yeah.
All right, let's see. Hasbro Indie Whip Loop once, Then I couldn't get it, and I can never clip the little gun piece down.
Yeah, but, I haven't got any of them, but yeah, that might be the one I pick up just to have like one indie, And like I was telling you guys off camera, I can't recommend these Jada Toys Street Fighter figures enough. Like this is insane. The level of detail, the posability. He can actually like stand and pose on one foot like he's kicking like this. Like the weight balance of the figure is really well. The effect. And then I didn't even notice like the it's actually like a little display too. Like it's got like the wood planks in the bottom and stuff, and like figure fits in there perfectly for a nice little display. Really cool. I got to give them a lot of credit. This is the first ever Jada Toys thing I've picked up, and I'm really looking forward to more of these now. They're really cool.
Look at Bick. He's saying, Tony said a pack of smokes and a bottle of whiskey. So apparently there was more to the conversation than I was led into.
Rick.
This is actually a packet of smokes and a bottle of whiskey as well. So I'll forward you the address and you can send it over after the stream. Please.
So the thing is with that Ryu now, are you all like, I gotta get that Comic-Con exclusive?
No, I don't need Evil Ryu. I was really only gonna get Chun-Li, Ken, and Ryu. Those were like the three that I really like wanted to get. But yeah, I don't know. I might pick up like some of the other. Fei Long, I'm not like too crazy about. I know he's like supposed to be the Bruce Lee like homage. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like if they do Honda and he looks cool, or Blanca, or Vega, or some of them. Like they might be cool. Sagat might be cool. Like some of them. Yeah. Yeah.
I just threw him under the bus. He's not even here. Yeah, he's spreading false information. Is he from Florida?
Yeah, no, Brian's action figure reviews. He talked us into these, man. He just made them look so good and kept posting pictures. And then like once I saw Jay Hernandez post pictures of it on Instagram, and then Sean Solo was like selling these.
He's all in, man.
He was on the hunt for these for mad long, and he's like, I got ones to open and ones to keep in box. And
my gosh, because he loves the presentation on them.
I gotta say the presentation, like these boxes are phenomenal. Like the video game look, and like I was like, oh man, I kind of don't want to take it out of the box to do the review, but I did just so I can do the actual review and check it out. But I gotta say the quality is there, and I wasn't expecting it to be.
So the thing is, I'm not going to get any of those, and I got the little Street Fighter story that kind of explains it. I'm not didn't like the movie or whatever that they did.
Okay.
But the whole going to the arcade and playing video games, I was about 2 years before I think Street Fighter, right? Was about the time I was kind of done arcading and stuff like that. Maybe I played at the pizza place or whatever. And I like this one called Russian Attack, like not Russian like Russia or whatever, but it's
Russian Attack.
Yeah, and it was like you were a military guy and you started out with like the little knife, and then you picked up a flamethrower, and there was like it was like just running across. I think it was Operation Wolf or something when it was on like the NES.
Okay.
But I like that one, and I like Defender and stuff like that. But then when Street Fighter came out, I remember it was like a craze. Like I remember when I got to San Diego, got to the dorm, there was like a Street Fighter game down in the main area, and there would be like 2 or 3 guys there all the time with their like quarters lined up like they were next. And there was one guy, he was was my friend, and you could wake up at 3:00 in the morning, walk downstairs, and he'd be playing. This guy was like playing that game. I don't know how much he spent on that, but he was playing it all the time. And I remember like everywhere he went, he would be doing you can, and just so annoying that I think the game annoyed me so much that I was like, I'm done with Street Fighter.
Because like the original Street Fighter, like it wasn't only an arcade game. Like you had to physically go to an arcade or go to to play. It wasn't like a home thing.
Well, I'm going to play the generation card with you again, Waze.
Okay.
So Street Fighter, was an arcade game, and I remember go to the arcade, you'd put your 20 pence in or 20 cent in, and everything else, and it was great, and we'd love it. We'd all queue up, and you'd wait your turn. You'd have to play with someone, and winner stays on. It was a big deal. It was a big game, and any arcade you went to had a Street Fighter machine. But the Super Nintendo came out with Street Fighter 2, and I remember getting the Super Nintendo and just being amazed that I can play this arcade game
at home. At
home in my bedroom on the TV, albeit the TV was outside. Maybe. Street Fighter 2 was a big deal, and I had a carryover from the arcade experience into the home experience. So it does. I've hold a very special place in my heart. Wasn't going to get into the figures. Brian talked me into Ryu, and I'm going to have to get a Ken when that wave comes out, and then who knows what it's going to lead to now.
The Chun-Li too. That's the other one. Yeah. I'm hoping we get lucky, and maybe they'll get the Mortal Kombat license, and we can get like Mortal Kombat figures made by them as well. Like that would be a great little addition. But the thing I noticed was that like they pair really well with the Joes, but they pair even better with the Marvel Legends. Like you could do Marvel vs. Capcom all day, and like these scale perfectly color wise, everything. So like really cool. I mean, they might have something with this line. You know what I mean? Like this might be a sleeper line.
G.I. Joe did the Street Fighter figures back in the 90s.
So and that's what this is why I had to get into these, because so for me, my G.I. Joes growing up, I had the console, like the command center, but it was the Street Fighter version of it. So like I had the purple and gray one, and like that's what I used to do. I used to have like Bison working with Cobra in the command center, and then have Ryu and Ken and the Street Fighters, you know, with the G.I. Joe. So like originally what I was hoping was Hasbro was going to get a shot to redo these like in classified scale somehow, but I'm kind of glad that like these still fit with classifieds. They look good side by side, so like you can pick these up to put in your classifieds if you were like me, like where that has like a correlation in your brain, you know what I mean, growing up.
No, it's good that maybe another company get it, because what Jada Toys do, that their stuff is pretty on point. So
yeah, and like I said, I never got into Fast and Furious stuff, and I know they're doing Mega Man too. So like it's interesting if they could snag that Mortal Kombat license, I would be really happy to pick up some Mortal Kombat figures that scaled well with them too. That would be awesome.
That would be.
Especially with the new movie coming, you know, they're starting to shoot the new movie now, so like that would be really cool if they could get like even the live action one.
I did not know that.
No, neither did I. That's awesome news.
Yeah, they cast 2 of the girls from the Sabrina show that was on Netflix as Katana and Jade. I saw that. A hoop stick. So what's everybody got coming out this week? Anything?
You know what? I picked this up, and I'm probably going to do a review on the Supergirl figure.
She's supposed to be the standout from the movie. Everybody's ranting and raving about her performance and saying like they want her to stay on as Supergirl for the, you know, whatever James Gunn does.
These guys came in, so I might pull these out and just do a quick look at them. I know that they've already been reviewed and stuff like that, but these are the newer versions, and just so you guys can see, there's no points on these boxes at all.
Okay, that's the Bone Collector and the other one.
And
no points.
Oh, that's because they're in an envelope on their way.
All right. Okay.
It's because they immediately got slashed off and thrown in the mail.
So I'm going to be putting up the Ryu video probably either today or tomorrow. I filmed it earlier before we got on here.
Nice.
I also got a video that I've been working on going over all the stuff for Ahsoka. There's been a lot of rumors and speculation and stuff coming out like this past week about what might happen with the Dave Filoni movie.
Okay.
And potentially the guy who was in Solo that played Han, potentially a new cast basically taking over Han, Leia, and Luke going forward.
Yeah,
so that's interesting.
The thing is, like, so the Han Solo character from the Solo the Star Wars movie, I think he's still too young to play Han Solo after the events of Return of the Jedi.
But I think if you have plans, so like everybody's been petitioning for Solo 2. I don't think that's going to happen. But if you have plans to have Luke and Han and Leia be involved in the movies going forward, whatever Filoni does, and whether
Definitely
the rumors,
definitely.
Well, yeah, whether the rumors of like a young Luke show or like, you know, that time period.
Well,
if
they do a young Luke show, the only way they do young Luke with young Leia is if they film it in 2 parts and never have them meet.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean, though. Like not young. I'm talking about like after Return of the Jedi. So if you want to do stories after Return of the Jedi, you're not going to be able to have the capability to CGI them for a whole entire movie or show. It's not there.
Yeah,
yet.
No, I totally get it, but I think that Aldrin, that whatever that guy's name is, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
He's not very charismatic, in my opinion. He doesn't carry Han Solo's character the way Han Solo should be played, in my mind. Because,
I can see that.
He should be more rogue.
To be fair, though, I don't think we got that version of Han until the end of the movie in the first one.
Yeah, I think even at the end it was like, I mean, if it's a show, maybe because it's a show, but if they're going to do movies, I think they really need to upscale it a little bit. I think that Solo would, you're saying everybody's petitioning for Solo. I would petition that they go back and that original Solo movie was actually called Lando, and you just followed the events of Lando Calrissian until he lost the Millennium Falcon from Han Solo, basically, right? Yeah. And that would have been the story I would have told, and you would have had like the Lando Calrissian story, which would have led up to the same thing, but it wouldn't. You wouldn't have had to like reimagine this character that's already been imagined at that age.
Yeah. Now, who? I know me and Connor spoke about like who would potentially cast for Leia being recast. Who would you guys like want to see? Like I'm with. I know Connor originally suggested like Billy Lord, her daughter. Like I'm for that. I think that's probably your best bet. But
okay, see, Eric, I think that totally that is the best casting. I think fans would get completely behind it. Yeah. I think that's 100% the way they would go. I don't think that's what they're going to do.
I don't think so either.
If they pick somebody else, do you ever watch this Fear the Walking Dead?
Yeah.
So one of the main characters in that, I think could do a decent job. I think the actress was in the 100 at one point, and then went over to the Fear the Walking Dead. I think she's probably around the age that you're looking for and stuff like that. And doesn't look too similar, but doesn't look too far away.
I know that Millie Bobby Brown was originally rumored for Andor.
Too young.
Yeah.
In my opinion, unless it's a young character, but then what are you going to do? It's like not training in the Force, not doing any of that stuff.
Well, I hope. Oh, I'm sorry, Connor. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I'm just going to be very controversial. I don't care who plays them. I just want those characters back, and I want them kept alive, and I want them reimagined, and I want them to go forward. I read like the 90s was a dark time for Star Wars. The early 90s, we were getting all this, cross media, cross platform kind of Star Wars entertainment on these role play games, and like the technology wasn't there. It wasn't great. I know.
And the power of the Force line.
Yeah, but
it was a dark time.
It was dark times. So, so to get those characters back and see them again in live action, I would just be thrilled. So
yeah,
I hope when we do, like, I hope whoever they cast to play Leia, whenever we do see her, I hope that like we see Jedi Leia. Like that, to me, that would be like the epitome of like, if we're going to see all three of them together again on screen, like we never got in the sequels, because I think that's like really what we need as fans. Like we need to see the three of them together at their height and their peak after being together for all these years. I want Leia to be a Force user in that scene. You know what I mean? Like if they're coming in, I want to see Luke and Leia both with sabers in their hand, like ready to go. Like
yeah, what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that would be like the perfect way to not only honor like Leia and her legacy, I think to show like, hey, it's not just Rey, like Leia was before Rey. You know what I mean? Like I think that's a cool way to like keep that going. And I would just act like if they did go with her daughter, I would just either wipe those three little shots of her from the sequel trilogy, because she's literally like only in 3 scenes, or they just don't even acknowledge it. Just
that's the best way to go about it, because if they do have her pick up the character, it's way before that sequel series anyway. Yeah. So there's no way you get that old and then all of a sudden you look that young in some sequel. So it could just be right.
Yeah. So no, it's definitely interesting, and I've been a proponent of Mark Hamill saying for years now that Sebastian Stan should play Luke. Like they look exactly alike. He calls him his unbiological son on Twitter and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think that's like
Zeke,
probably too big a name now. He's probably too.
Well, that's my worry, is like maybe they want to stick with like 3 people. Like I know Red Ranger Chris suggested the guy who's just doing the mocap, like the one that they're using to, like, I think he was in the first season of Mando, and then he was Luke in the second. Yeah. And like the guy who they're actually like doing the deep fake stuff with, just have him play Luke. I mean, I could very easily see that them not wanting to get into like Marvel territory where they're overpaying these big time actors for this role. They'd probably rather get these people in that they could have for years and only pay like X amount of dollars. You know what I mean?
But it's not only pay. It's not to do with the money. It's to do with the fact that by bringing a big name to a character like that, you're talking about a really established character.
Yeah,
A big name has their own establishment. Those worlds might mix, you know.
Yeah, and I think if you're sticking to maybe the original formula of like 3 unknowns, you know, like, and Aiden hasn't really done anything. I know he just came back to the Disney family for Ironheart, so like that was his like footstep back in the door, and maybe that's how this led to him, you know, potentially playing Han again. But
I think that their problem is when if they do Sebastian Stan, right, he's already been in Marvel. I hate it that they keep using people and they just sticking them in different properties. I wish that they would just leave the guys in their existing properties. I know that they're actors and they want to be working and stuff, but if there's a future role for him as like the Winter Soldier or the whatever he is, Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is like, let him play that role. That's his role, right?
Well, he's only got one more deal on his contract, and then that's
probably the new movie, right? The
next one. Yeah.
So I mean, like, to me, I'm like, every time I see somebody pop up in a movie just because they were in a Star Wars or just because they were in a Marvel and they're now in a different franchise, I'm like, pun on words, disenfranchised with the idea, right? Because I just see them, like you're talking about, I just see them in the other role.
Yeah. Like that happened to me with Mando, with Jack Black and Lizzo. As soon as I saw them, I was like out of the whole entire episode because I was like, is that Lizzo in Star Wars?
To me, that's different because I haven't seen Jack Black in the other films, right? But
like, I know what you mean.
So when I did the rewatch of Quantumanium, and they were in the quantum realm, and the girl that was in Andor is in there, it threw me off because I didn't recognize her when I watched Quantumanium the first time, but because I had seen Andor, I was like, oh, or not
Mandalorian. Katie O'Brien. Yeah.
It threw me off, and I was like, oh no, she was much better than that other one. Now this Marvel one, I'm not buying it anymore.
Yeah. No, I mean, it happens sometimes. So I could see that. I could definitely see that being like a standpoint from them where they're like, maybe we just want to cast like some unknowns for the, you know, that we can kind of mold and have. But
sure. But so you got some video. You got your Ryu video coming up. Connor, you got anything you're going to put up this week?
I've a video going live in half an hour if I click the button right. So
is that a premiere or is that?
No, I don't like doing the premieres because
Waze does, but he doesn't like to be there.
I forget that. So I initiate it, and then I forget what time I initiated it at, and then like I get the notification, oh, your video went live, and I totally missed the premiere.
I have a question. So, did you guys see my stop motion intro on that jetpack thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking about trying to use that concept for a stop motion thing that I'm going to do in the future. Yeah. And do you think that would work, or you think that's just not?
No, I think it'll work. I like when you incorporate it in your reviews because it's just something different. You don't see people doing that, you know.
I just want to do. Yeah, I'm going to do a longer piece, but I'm thinking about doing like a comic strip, then transition to like some video, and then comic strip, just to change the scenes type of thing.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Keep experimenting, man. That's what it's all. That's why we do this.
Just curious how it worked out. But
I like it. It's different.
All right. I know there's some other people like that plan to stream and stuff like that. So we went a little bit over what I usually do. But I appreciate everybody in the chat who stuck with me, and you guys for hanging out to the very, very end.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
We are not going to play any word from our sponsor this week.
Because he left. He left there.
No, it just takes too long. But anyways, thanks everybody for hanging out. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week sometime.
Cheers, guys.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.